Hi beautiful ones, this is Fire Moon and welcome to this reading that's all about your secret soulmate partnership as well as union. So this is going to be a pretty detailed reading. We're going to go through everything from who this person is, how you're going to meet, what your purpose together is, and for those who want to skip right to the pick a card selection, you may do so with the timestamps below. Otherwise, I'll give you a short introduction about this reading and its purpose. So this is going to be about the soulmate that wants to come through for you right now and what Spirit wants to tell you about this partnership that is coming up for you. So I expect this will be something that many singles will be drawn to, although of course you could also watch this reading with the intention to confirm your current partnership as well as relationship. So if you're wondering about the idea of soulmates and sort of what the different tiers and types of those are, you may also take a look at my twin flame video below, which describes the differences between karmic partners, soulmates, as well as twin flames. So that may answer some of the questions that you have in mind. So what we're going to generally kind of inquire into is the idea of a positive, beautiful, significant partnership as well as soulmate reunion or union that wants to come your way, and which one comes through is up to Spirit, of course. So you may do so by picking your piles here, and I have different stones to go with them. So I'll show you those individually, and then you could also just take a look and pick based on simply the pile. So the first pile here, we have this carnelian stone. For the second pile, we have spirit quartz. For the third one, we have a rose quartz heart. For the fourth pile, we have amethyst. And for the fifth pile, I'm pretty sure that this is opalite, but I might be wrong. So I will also show you the piles without the stones. Take a second, take a deep breath, and see which pile resonates for you the most. And I will see you on the other side. So hi everyone who picked pile number 1 as well as this carnelian stone. So this is going to be your reading about your secret soulmate partnership as well as union or reunion. And of course this could be for people who are single. I anticipate that most of you will be. If you are someone who is in a partnership or who's wondering about your current relationship, you may also, of course, watch this reading for confirmation. If you're looking to find more information about the idea between soulmates, karmic partners, as well as twin flames, please take a look at the video I have linked below, which is a video on twin flames. Otherwise, the soulmate who will be coming through for us today will be the one that Spirit really wants me to talk about and that is drawn to you the most at this time. So this is about a significant relationship in your life, not something that will happen quickly and end even more quickly. So in any case, it is something that is beautiful and positive for you. So let's take a look at this person. The first few cards will be about who they are as an individual, as well as what their passion is or purpose in life. And then I will also talk about how you will meet based on the second card. So let's take a look here at what wants to come through first. And some of these cards might be sort of blending in. Sometimes that happens, so do not be alarmed. So the first card that wants to come through is this beautiful quote from my Jane Austen tarot deck. It says, "You pierce my soul. I am half agony, half hope." Okay, so this is the equivalent of the Five of Cups, which sometimes is associated with Scorpio energy. So already what I sense is that they're a deep artist. They're someone who has very direct access to their emotions and their expressive abilities. They might be a poet or someone who writes for a living. In any case, they're someone who's incredibly sensitive and who has a really deep inner reality and might have a lot of hidden layers to themselves that they don't show others at first glance. And what I already sense from this is that they will be feeling deep things for you sort of right away and not letting you know about it necessarily, not in a negative or hidden way, not in a shady sort of way, but they're just so sort of awestruck by you. And already there are feelings sort of taking root in their soul and in their heart. This is someone who feels incredibly deeply. They are capable of just so much breadth in this life, emotionally, spiritually, as well as intellectually. So right off the bat, this is someone who is a very old soul, I sense, and they might even have some old-timey interests. Maybe they're interested in different historical periods, or just in general in cultures that are a little bit different or more old-fashioned than current trends. So with this card here as well, with the Nine of Cups, they come off as shy at first, maybe timid a little bit. Maybe they come off as unsure of themselves, even though they have such immense power in their soul. They might be absolutely, I sense Scorpio Pisces energy here very abundantly. And then they might sort of view you in this way in which this woman is looking and gazing into the distance here, sort of forlorn, sort of yearning. There's a deep longing within their soul for someone who is a true partner, true soulmate, someone who understands them deeply. They want to be understood and to be felt equally. They want to feel, and get to know the entirety of someone's soul. That is you, and they also want their soul to be known just as deeply. They have a lot of dreams in this life, a lot of sort of fantasies as well. They might not always take action on them, but they have some really significant spiritual tasks as well as purposes in this lifetime, and one of their deepest dreams is to unite with a true soulmate and a partner. So that sounds so wonderful and beautifully intense already. With this Eight of Pentacles card here, what I'm sensing is that they have been working on this spiritual journey already. They have been learning a lot of lessons when it comes to understanding their own heart as well as protecting their own heart. There's this woman kind of looking away from the other, and there's some sort of, I don't want to say shadiness or anything happening here, but she's definitely thinking about something else and she's sort of looking away. So this person might feel like they are distanced from others based on past experience, or like they have to keep themselves distanced from others based on past experiences, because they realize that not everyone can match them at this level, spiritually as well as emotionally, most importantly. And they want to have significant relationships in this life. In fact, this is someone who might struggle to have sort of normal friendships as well as connections, because they are just so kind of intense as well as so sensitive. So there's such a deep and intricate world around them and in their mind, in their soul, in their heart, that they might find it a little bit difficult to connect with others and to be in the moment. But one of their lessons that they are learning already is to be more present in their immediate environment, to be present on earth, rather than just in their fantasies or in their own soul, in their own energy, and to sort of not turn away from others because they assume that they're not going to connect, or that relationship is not going to be significant to them, but to learn about themselves in this way that's positive and that empowers them rather than makes them feel potentially alone or forlorn, like this woman here. But in any case, I don't sense that they are unkind in any sort of way. Like, the only reason they might feel disconnected is because they truly do have this deep yearning to be connected with someone at the soul level in this like all-consuming sort of way. Man, there's so many things that this reminds me of, so many quotes, but that I will spare you. Like, this is a very Bridgerton aesthetic already. I will not quote any lines from that TV show, but in any case, so this card tells us a little bit more about who they are as a person in life and what they're working on, potentially what's their passion, what's their career. And what I already get is the 5th house. Look at this. So it says with the trust of a child, fun, romance, and making art. And look at that. That is insane to me that this stood out already from the first card as them being an artist, being someone who maybe writes poetry, is a performer as well, potentially, but and it says do it dramatically, but what I sense is that they're still learning how to sort of embrace the higher level of their purpose and to be very confident in what they do. So they're sort of in this process. This is, I think, the equivalent of Eight of Pentacles, right? So they're still learning a lot. They might be studying right now. They might be in school, like in art school right now. They might be getting their degree in something related to writing or psychology, I get, as well as maybe something to do with like investigative work. I can't speak right now. Investigative work, like detective work. I get that because of the Scorpio's connection, as well as them being sort of someone who works behind the scenes a little bit more. And it's funny because this says do it dramatically. On the other side, it says the power of love, investment, gambles, and other games, your creations. So this is someone who is yet to tap into their true deepest depths of authenticity. They have discovered all their talents and passions and purposes, especially this thing to do with art, with creation, through their feelings, their instincts, their emotions, but is still in this learning process of acquiring the skills or the specific facets of this purpose and how they're going to go about it in this life. So there is, in a sense, this sort of detective work within them that's going on at the moment, in order so that they understand that no matter what they do, no matter what the circumstances and what people they connect with around them that feel maybe like not the most significant soulmates or connections, they're never going to be depleted of energy. They're never going to run out of what they realize after some difficult experiences already in their life is so precious, and that they shouldn't, give away easily or freely to just anyone. So with House 2 here, this is the card for how you will meet. It says, already what I'm sensing is that they are being called to be more House 2. If they're very like 8th house, 12th house in the astrology, if you want to take a look at that, that might be interesting. They're very like a water house energy, just water sign energy. They're being called to embrace the physical reality more, to, for example, make a job out of their passion, to get real compensation for the work that they do, which is beautiful, significant, unique, emotionally, spiritually deep, and connected to their truth. They might be someone who is not very interested in, for example, making money, but Spirit is telling them you have to, also tend to your physical reality, to your materials, to your financial abundance and well-being. So this is all stuff related to House 2 and Taurus energy, and right now there's a significant nodal shift into Taurus, so it's all about, this is literally the Scorpio-Taurus axis of how do you make all of this energy how do you bring all of this energy into Earth? So I sense that you're going to be meeting at a time when this person will be learning these lessons and actually figuring something out about, how to make their passions into reality. You might be meeting at a job or through some sort of situation where you've both taken the first step on your journey towards materializing your goals, your true passions, basically. There might be a sort of move or a change of residence when this happens for either of you. You might meet basically in a place that signifies things like physical possessions or worth. So I don't want to say like a bank or anything like that, but even when you're out shopping or something, that could be like the most mundane interpretation of this. Like you're out shopping for something, not like totally insignificant like groceries, but you're out shopping for like big furniture or something because you have relocated and you need to get furniture for your new place or something like that. But in any case, the more significant sort of spiritual element of when you're going to be meeting is, especially when I feel like they have taken this step towards working on their goals in a more concrete way. And this is definitely through a job or relocation, or simply at the most significant level when they're out, gaining some sort of skill, or taking a class that helps them figure out how to structure their life, how to organize their life. There's a sort of energy of reinvention around the time when you're going to be meeting. So let's see what your purpose is now together, and how you're going to be feeling. So I'm going to put some of these cards out here and I will talk about them shortly. And I'm going to pull some cards for how you will be feeling and how they will be feeling when you meet. And then we'll see the particular story of this. Ooh, okay. So we get the Four of Emotions, or Four of Cups for you. You might be in a state of discouragement when it comes to a partnership and connection and romance at this time when you meet. You also might not be expecting to meet this person at all. Like you're just doing something pretty mundane or something that seems just totally unrelated just to the energy of love and romance. So, okay, we get the Nine of Wands in reverse here. So this is a card of, I always associate it with Chiron, the asteroid of healing. And that to me signifies that it's going to come after a time when you've worked hard on something and you might be feeling a little bit tired. You might be feeling like, yeah, you are pretty in general depleted of energy when it comes to, it wants to stay in reverse. It's so important, I think. You're kind of at this point where you're just drained energetically and emotionally, and you just kind of want to rest, and you're not really interested in anything besides like what you're doing, besides your work. You are accomplishing something significant, but you feel sort of burnt out and you don't have kind of the energy necessary to even think about, like, this person here is kind of like, there are two people kind of facing each other, maybe about to kiss or something, but she's sort of above that and she's not really like excited about it or anything like that. The other message I'm getting is that you're being guided spiritually to meet with this person, even if you don't understand it or see it, especially with the clouds there, with this halo, and this sort of orb here. You're being led through some sort of angelic guidance or just higher spirit guidance to come into contact with this person through this avenue that's not really necessarily related to romance or to love. So like, you're not going to be meeting them through like a dating app or anything like that. This is a card that also speaks about self-shielding and about self-defense in general. It's not as, okay, so Six of Swords here. It's not about, it's not as violent as the Seven of Wands, which is like, get away from me, I have a big stick and I don't want to see you anywhere near me. It's just sort of a card of being burnt out, especially since it's in reverse. You might be at the end of a cycle, especially with Six of Swords coming up. You might be moving on from something that was disappointed you, that didn't pan out in the exact way that you wanted, maybe emotionally, since, you know, Four of Cups is emotions. Maybe from a relationship, you're moving on from a relationship that wasn't so fulfilling for you, and that made you feel like, you know, where is that deep, significant soulmate that I dream about, that I feel maybe even around me, but it doesn't seem like they're replicated in the people that I see around me in a similar way to how this person feels in general. And you're here kind of, you don't want to get hurt again. This is what this speaks about. I think you don't want to also like resurrect any sort of old wounds, because you've done a lot of hard work on something, whether material, whether your own healing process, and you want to move on from an old cycle. And as I was saying at the beginning, you're both in this place of sort of restructuring, reinvention, as well as moving on to a higher cycle of life, higher experience. And when you meet them, you're going to feel surprised that this happened, that this meeting happened at all. And look at this, so beautiful. The sun is at the bottom of the deck. You're going to be feeling so happy and joyous about them. And oh my gosh, I was gonna say, so how are they? Let me just double check that the cards are correct here. Yeah, your spiritual purpose together, the beautiful part and the lighter part of it is joy. So you're meant to experience so much expansive joy through your partnership. In any case, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see how they feel as well when this is happening. You might also be called by spirit around this time to be taking some sort of leap in a different direction that feels a little bit unsafe or just uncharacteristic of you. You're definitely very, very guided on this journey. So you might be seeing a lot of signs right before your encounter, and you might be feeling this person around you in a way that's like, are you wondering, you might be wondering, like, am I crazy? Am I imagining this? Or is this real? And you both are in this sort of mirroring situation where it's, you both feel just kind of disappointed or jaded. Yeah, okay, so as I say that, the 5 of coins or 5 of pentacles comes up. This person is also in a place that feels just not very comfortable. They have taken that step on the journey of their soul purpose, but as usual, when you sort of do that and you feel like you don't have a partner who connects to that purpose and who can support you throughout it, it feels like no one understands their purpose and no one can support them on that path, because it's such a unique and deep and sort of unexplainable purpose. Maybe it's just more spiritual, more artistic, more esoteric than the usual sort of purpose. It's something that's not as mundane as, I don't know, like a 9-to-5 job. It's something more significant. It's a soul purpose. And they feel like, you know, they have taken that step. They've taken that step on this path that's necessarily difficult at first because of the sheer fact that it is unknown, in much the same way that spirit is nudging you in this direction here. My ring keeps wanting to spin around. Come on, let's get a couple more cards for how they feel. Oh my gosh, they also get 6 of Swords. This is crazy. So much mirroring energy in this reading. This is a very significant soulmate for you. You both are literally being made to align at this point energetically, so that when you come together, you're already in a space where it feels like, you know, like, you pierce my soul. I am half agony, half hope. Like, this person, when they meet you, in much the same way that you feel when you meet them, they're like, oh my gosh, are you the person I've been looking for? This feels, I can't believe that this is actually happening. And, you know, this is their first reaction, is like, oh my gosh, so much yearning, like all of this, like, are all of my dreams about to come true? Or am I going to get like super brokenhearted? And of course, the answer is the first one. So let's see what else they feel. It's okay. So they don't want to tell me too much about it, but the Magician, okay, wonderful. I love to see that. They're a little bit confused at first because they're wondering, is this really what I think it is? Is this partnership that I've been looking for? They might also just be very in their mind about this journey that they're walking, their own particular soul path that they're walking, and this new direction that they've taken, which does feel, you know, a little bit uncomfortable at first. Let me just organize these a little bit better. So they might be in this place where they're choosing a lot of different things. They have to choose where to go next, and they have to just in general make a lot of choices about where they're going to go, what they're going to do. But they feel so ignited by your presence when they meet you immediately. Like, as I was saying already from the beginning, they feel so much for you right off the bat. And it's such a beautiful mirroring situation. Like, you're both in this place that feels like it's very burdened for you, more emotionally, for them more potentially financially, as well as like mentally. Like, you're feeling sort of drained, you don't want to get hurt. They're feeling like they're walking a path no one else can understand, and they don't want to misidentify you as that deep soulmate because they don't want to get hurt either, of course. And as I was saying, like, they know that their feelings are truly precious, and that what they have to offer is something unique and so beautiful, and their love is so pure. So they don't want to get hurt by sharing that with someone who's unable to mirror that. So your higher spiritual purpose together is represented by Neptune, so perspective. So already what I'm sensing, yeah, this is more Pisces energy, beautiful. 22 might be a significant number for you. This is a connection that is absolutely spiritual. It's connected at the crown and third eye chakra. So you both have been taking steps subconsciously towards each other your entire lives, basically. It's so significant. It's a sort of this energy of a relationship that is meant to elevate you. It's meant to bring you to a higher level of understanding and of spiritual growth, but in a loving and beautiful way, not in a heavy way. And you both feel like you are able to support each other's dreams. Basically, you understand each other very deeply. It's all about soul understanding. There's a soul recognition here. This is a relationship that's meant to bring you that blessing of feeling truly mirrored by someone else and truly loved at this soul level. And that's sort of the spiritual aspect of your purpose. And then the more earthly aspects are represented by the light card as well as the shadow card. So the light card says joy, pretty self-explanatory. And you see this beautiful outburst of energy here. And this is how they're feeling right away about you. Like they're ignited fully within. And the sun is coming up for you too. So this is literally the card of joy, of the highest sort of fulfillment. And the thing that might be a little bit more challenging is this energy of the observer. So learning about your intuition and learning to trust your intuition, this is going to be the more shadow aspect of your purpose, where you might find potential triggers. So already what I'm sensing is that they're feeling triggered and they're second guessing their intuition about you when they meet because of potentially difficult past experiences. So let's pull a few cards about your journey together in this relationship. Okay, so already we get, I think this is, am I holding it the right side up? This is the transparent tarot, so I'll show you the cards individually and then we'll put them together to form a little story. So this is the Five of Swords. So yeah, the energy of betrayal, of feeling hurt as well as just mistreated in life. You both start off in that energy, or you both have an experience of this kind before you meet each other, and that in a way that has truly impacted you. Of course, at the soul level, you remain pure and whole and in the same energy, but intellectually you both have some sort of blockage relating to love. Ooh, come on. Let's get a few more cards. I do not know. I think I should cut the deck for this one. This is the first time I am using this deck on a camera, so I'm going to cut the deck instead. And now we have, I think this is the Four of Pentacles. I might be totally wrong here. Or it might be the Emperor. I'm totally wrong, but this is about rebuilding yourself from this situation here, from this experience where you felt like, I like how this person is sort of here behind the city, and this reminds me like of the original Five of Wands card, which has this person to the side here, stealing some swords or about to betray someone, but this is the person like after the battle, and they're sort of like overlooking the city there and like all of this sort of carnage that has happened, and they're just reflecting on what they've lost. So this is where you both start from. You're both reflecting on some sort of loss. You're moving on from sort of a different paradigm of life that is no longer serving you, and you are piece by piece rebuilding yourself so that you create this structure of life that is authentic to you and that is powerful because you're the one who built it. And there is an element of you having to come together after a time when you've taken significant steps towards rebuilding yourselves, rebuilding your life. And yeah, exactly. At the moment when you both realize that not all is lost and that there's no part of you that is no longer rebuildable. There's no part of you that is lost completely. This is when this beautiful offer is going to come in, when this beautiful love, this is the Knight of Cups, of course, is going to give you this beautiful healing energy that is going to make all of that past experience all of that difficult betrayal or loss going to seem insignificant, because look, they're larger than this person here. Oh, that's beautiful. And let's see what else we can get. Let's get a couple more cards here. And I should have probably put some different card underneath so that you see the picture better here, but that's okay. Okay, let's get a couple more cards, Spirit, please. This is slightly harder to shuffle this deck, but that's okay. Okay. Oh, that's so cute. So beautiful to see that. Okay, so we're getting our couple of other cards. So we get, I think this is the Page of Pentacles, and I just love how, look at how they're running towards each other here. This is a moment of alignment. As I was saying, Spirit wants to align you both to this relationship. It's going to bring you together only after you've rebuilt this part of yourself, or after you've realized that you're capable of building your life as you want it. And at that moment, you're going to be basically running towards each other. The minute you take that step towards empowerment and towards realizing how much energy and potential you have for building your own life, you're automatically going to be taking that step towards each other. So you're in this equal, beautiful energy. And then the Four of Cups is coming up again. So this talks about, where do I put this person? I want to put them sort of in the middle here, or maybe on the side, I don't know. This speaks to me about the shadow energy that you might be triggering in each other a little bit when you meet, because you're just so equal, you're so fit for each other, you understand each other truly. So the challenge basically is going to be in this relationship, are you going to take this leap, right? The way Spirit is encouraging you to do so. And are you going to recognize, for you that's the question more. And for them, it's going to be, are you going to embrace the spark within you that is already there, and to trust your intuition? And the beautiful part is that you're both, no matter what is happening in your relationship, you're both always turned towards each other. So that's just so beautiful to see. You're both very pure-hearted individuals, and if you have any sort of like difficult experiences on this journey, it's going to be just stuff that you trigger in each other because of a feeling that it might not be real, or that it might not be, that you might not be worthy of this, or that this is not something that you are able to sustain. But the good news is that your souls are always working together, also in alignment with spirit guides as well as just angel guides, to keep you together no matter what happens. So that's so wonderful to see. I'm going to get one more card. And actually, before I do that, I forgot about this one card, which is, but we already kind of talked about shadow energies. Yeah, the card that you're being called to, or the energy that you're being called to release right now in order so that you meet this person. We already kind of got this information from the reading, is become more objective, it says. And the way I'm feeling this is, and I look at the angel here, become more objective when it comes to the state of things in your life. Like if you are someone who feels like all is lost because something went wrong, like one little thing went wrong, or because you've had one bad experience in life, in a relationship, that you're bound to repeat that, then this is a mentality that you are being called to clear and to move away from. And the minute you do that, you're going to come into contact with this person. This is the energy that needs to be cleared right now. And this is, she's holding a snake, which to me also speaks of rebirth as well as healing. So this meeting will come at a time when you're both significantly healed enough so that you meet and are in alignment simply by who you are at that time, so that there's not going to be back and forth, no, breaking up, making up constantly, no sort of back and forth energy. It's going to be internal. There are going to be triggers that, make you second guess. For you, it's second guess your worthiness as well as your luck to have this sort of beautiful, supportive, equal relationship, and for them it's going to be second guessing their intuition. But those triggers will be mostly internal. And the most important thing I could tell you is to communicate clearly, also with become more objective. This reminds me of Libra energy, which is a diplomatic energy. So to speak about your feelings in a way where you're not coming from a place of fear or rejection, which is, of course, you're learning this right now on this process already. And this is what you're both working on clearing at the moment so that you come together. So let's pull you one more card for advice, and it already popped out. We'll pull you one more card as well as a couple of soulmate messages. So we get embrace, and it says, through each other you find the missing pieces. What an absolutely gorgeous energy to end on, which is already what we've seen throughout this reading. This is the person who truly is meant to be your supportive life partner, not just emotionally, but in a way that supports your individual purpose and where you support their purpose. And with this card here, with this other shadow card, I was going to say this observer, right? Become more objective. This is about realizing there are so many wings. These cards are so similar from such different decks. Look at that. Observe, be objective. This is the same energy and they both have wings. So, wow, this is telling me that you are capable of realizing right now how guided you are on this journey, and to recognize the signs that are telling you that you're on your way, and like that you are coming into meeting with this person. And the more you work on yourself and these things that I've sort of mentioned, moving on from old cycles as well as these potential triggers to do with worthiness as well as with intuition, and the more you walk that path that might feel daunting, right? The path of your purpose, which spirit kind of feels like they're nudging you off the cliff here, the more you're going to be in even deeper alignment when you first meet this person. So, oh, how cute. Okay, so we get two messages and I love this one. Your love is like a burst of sunshine on a cloudy day. Your smile is imprinted in my heart. Your beauty reflected by the stars. Your essence is the air I breathe. Wow, this already reminds me of this card, the first card that came up, which is this, this quote, right? This beautiful poetic quote. This person is going to be like writing poetry about you. They might be inspired by you immediately as you meet. It's going to absolutely trigger a sort of breakthrough in their artistic inspiration, sort of watershed of inspiration. You're both going to be doing that for each other. And we also have every experience, regardless of whether you perceive it as good or bad, comes with a gift attached. Yet sometimes the gift is only revealed with the passing of time. Trust, all is as should be. So you're going to feel like all of your dreams have come true when you met this person. They're going to be so inspired by you. You're both going to feel like you found the other half of you. And this is such gorgeous energy. And what a beautiful ending to this reading. If you're interested in other love readings, this is a highly potent time astrologically for the February 222 gateway, although of course this reading is timeless, so whenever this finds you is great. But take a look at my other videos besides the twin flame one that I mentioned. There's also a what's manifesting for you in love reading, as well as I will put up there a reading on what's blocking love, so we can go more into the shadow aspects of what you need to heal at the moment. So this is what I see for you, pile number one. I hope this resonated. If it did, I would love to hear your stories and your comments below. And of course, I would appreciate your likes, subscribes, and shares. So I hope you have a lovely day or night whenever you're watching. And thanks so much. Bye. So hello everyone who picked pile number 2, as well as this spirit quartz crystal. So this reading is for you, all about your sacred soulmate partnership and union or reunion. And I assume that a lot of you are probably singles, but you may also be watching this reading for confirmation on your current relationship, of course, so that is very much welcome. So what we're going to be tapping into is the energy of the soulmate and counterpart who wants to come through for you today. So if you're interested in learning more about soulmates, as well as karmic partners and twin flames, and maybe the sort of differences between these types of relationships and partnerships, I will link my own video down below. And the introduction will talk all about that. So this is a reading about a significant partnership, the one that Spirit really wants me to talk about and to let you know about. It's not something that is meant to be done as quickly as it starts or even quicker. It's something that is positive to you. It's not meant to be a difficult relationship. It's a supportive, beautiful partnership that wants to come your way. So let's take a look at who this person is. So the reading will be structured. First, we'll look at them, their energy, and their passion and purpose in life, as well as how you're going to meet. And then we're going to look at your purpose together, as well as how you're both going to be feeling when you meet each other, and then your story together. And then we'll pull just some final messages. So let's take a look at who this person is. And oh my gosh, right off the bat, they're coming up as the devil here. So, okay, they're incredibly attractive. And so we said already, right, that this person is their positive energy to you, right? So I'm not going to interpret this energy in the sense of they're like a karmic partner or someone who is not good for you, but so I'm going to take this to mean as they're incredibly attractive as well as very powerful. They might be a Capricorn sun or might have heavy Capricorn energy in their chart, as that is represented by the Devil card usually. We also get the Queen of Pentacles here. And we also have the Tower. Okay, so sometimes the cards blend together for who this person is versus how you will meet them. So let's also take a look at the cards that signify their passion and the way you're going to meet. So, okay, so Jupiter, wow. And fixed, okay. So what I'm sensing already is that, this is a different sort of message entirely than the first pile. There's someone who is certainly very attractive. It's like objective sort of attraction and beauty. Maybe a sort of bad boy or bad girl. They're very successful in their career. They might already have lots of awards or accolades based on what they've accomplished already, financially, professionally, just in general in their work. They're someone who is very well respected as well. They might be in a partnership when you first meet, but because the Tower is here, interesting, and this girl is looking over, it might be in its ending stages, and it's meant to be that way because anytime the Tower comes up, right, it's all about the crumbling of a past persona or a past paradigm as well as a past reality that is for the better, that is for the benefit of that person. Or this might signify that something that they were very successful at or that they built, that they were very proud of, is in the process of a transformation. Because with the Queen of Pentacles, this indicates finances, this indicates things to do with stability as well as with earthly matters of all kinds and with abundance. So they might be in a process where they have lost something. Maybe thinking here of Wickham and from my Jane Austen tarot, who was sort of, I think he was a gambler at some point. Oh my gosh, my Jane Austen knowledge used to be great. Anyway, shame on me. So, but maybe this person had like gambled something away or made some sort of choice that was risky and that didn't necessarily pan out. Or maybe they were in a relationship that they thought was going to last forever and it didn't, because this person was not their true counterpart and it was meant to end. So they're also someone who is just an instigator and who is an expander for many people. And that's why they're so well thought of. That's why they're so admired, because with Jupiter here as the life purpose as well as something relating to profession. It says the granting of blessing from good fortune, right? So Jupiter is the planet of expansion, of higher learning, as well as of generosity. And whenever someone has potentially prominent Jupiter placements in their charts, this could just signify that they're very attractive again, and attractive in the sense where they quite literally attract a lot towards them, a lot of attention, a lot of abundance, a lot of energy in general. They have great charisma, right? So at this point when you were meeting them, with this fixed energy here symbolizing that stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability, right? So I feel like something about the stability in this person's life specifically. I'm not getting the sense that it's you, it's their situation. Something about a big stable aspect of their life, a big structure, like either finances, career, maybe even partnership, is in the midst of a transformation because there are better and grander things for them out there in that moment and in the future. They're in a situation where they're being asked to reinvent themselves and to find a deeper level, not externally to themselves, but within themselves. I sense that this person is definitely an extrovert. They are a go-getter, absolutely, with the Tower here. This is sort of Uranus energy, which to me signifies also like an instigator and a mover and a shaker, someone who has a lot of impact on others. Anyone who is very Jupiterian is going to have a lot of impact. They might be working at a global sort of level. They might be a sort of like CEO or just very powerful in their profession. And at this time, something about that aspect that gives them, that grants them power in life is going to be changing. And it's also that they meet the right counterpart that is you. So first card, them. I'm going to view this card as you here. Someone who is able to match them in this power and to be truly supportive of this path and to be strong enough for this, because I feel like whatever is changing or breaking away or falling apart in their life when they do meet you was simply not strong enough. It wasn't good enough for them. And they're a very sort of proud person, a sort of demanding person. But again, remember that this is a significant, beautiful, positive partnership in your life. So this is not a person who's bringing any sort of toxicity. There might be, of course, as with any true significant positive soulmates who are not karmically heavy, there might be some triggers along the way. But this person in any case is going through a lot of that already, as we can see. They are being called to get to know themselves more inwardly, as well as because they've accomplished so much. And this potential loss, as well as rupture in their life, might signify from spirit that it is time for them to not focus on acquiring so much or on simply attracting so much, because they naturally do that already. What they naturally don't do as well as to reflect on their true soul wishes and desires in this more feminine energy sort of way. And this is absolutely, genderless, but with a queen coming up, what they're being pushed to embrace more of is this energy of receptivity rather than instigation, because I sense that their energy is quite masculine with the Capricorn devil card. And although Capricorn, of course, is a feminine sign, so do not quote me on that, but yeah, this is what I see. So let's see what the next part is. We're going to pull some cards for how they feel about you, as well as the purpose that you bring into each other's lives, the purpose that you share, and some difficult as well as positive aspects to that purpose. So first, we're going to pull some cards for how you feel when you meet them and how they feel when they meet you. And already with this card here, they're going to be noticing you. See how they're sort of glancing at this person here. And it's not in a very direct way, because they're like, I'm so proud, I'm so successful, I'm so strong, but they are noticing you already from the corner of their eye, and they're wondering, is this the person who is able to be this individual that I build empires with? This is the extent of their energy that I sense. Is this that person, finally? So let's see how you feel about them. Okay, this fell on that card. Okay, so you're yeah, this is my long-term partner. And this is someone who's incredibly successful. Obviously, this is very iterated in this reading. I don't know who the heck you are meant to come into a partnership with, but if you're going to become a millionaire or something as a result of this, but hey, good on you. You're going to feel like this is this person who is a long-term partner. You're not going to be able to second guess that absolutely at all. Like, it's going to be clear right off the bat. And there's a lot of Saturn energy in this reading as well. So Jupiter came through, of course, but because of the Capricorn energy of that card, there's also Saturn. So this person could be quite a lot older than you. Not quite a lot, but just a little bit older. Yeah, you're going to like them immediately. You're going to sort of be like, I see the potential to love them, like immediately, which is kind of crazy sounding, but yep. And let's see what else. 7 of Swords. You're gonna wonder, is this person capable of being committed, being emotionally safe for you? Are they someone who is trustable? You're going to be a little bit taken aback by their power. They might come on strongly. I'm not sure. Let's see how they feel. What's the information about them? You're not going to be sure about this. Like, this person could either be the worst person ever for you or the best person. Like, that's what you're going to be feeling and thinking. Like, either this is my long-term partner, or they're like a total player, and that bad boy energy, you're going to be reading that and thinking like, oh yeah, this person's like damn it, like they could be, yeah, a total player who's going to break my heart. But this Knight of Cups is here, right? So this is about how you're feeling, but you already recognize the potential there. The first card out, 10 of Pentacles. So you see that if this person has a good heart, they are that person for you. So we get, oh my gosh, we get the Tower again. This is crazy. Okay, so they're going to feel absolutely taken aback by you. This is a situation and a meeting that is just not, it's just not expected at all. As I was saying, with this fixed card for how you meet and the Tower, it's going to be in a way that's literally like divinely timed, but not in a way that feels comfortably guided and sweet, and like where you get lots of angel numbers and you're like, walk this way. Spirit tells you no, it's going to be a sudden experience. Something happened in their lives that made them make several choices, or one choice or something that brought them to a place that met you, and literally everything about the situation in your meeting is going to be like, what the heck just happened? Like, what just hit me? Like, what asteroid just like hit me? Okay, Page of Coins. They're going to be in the process of a fresh start, and they're like, okay, I don't know what the heck just happened, but it's almost like you're going to be helping them pick up the pieces. And I know that sounds maybe not like ideal, but not in a way that it puts unheeded emotional stress on you, but you're going to give them hope for something. Yeah, they're going to be, ooh, hello, walking away from whatever reality they were in that maybe gave them a lot of fulfillment or success. Oh, how beautiful. Yay. Okay. Or that gave them a lot of fulfillment, or just in general, where they received lots of accolades for what they did and for who they were. They're going to be in this process of walking away from this past, maybe a past relationship as well. But I get the sense that they were not like in the relationship when you met, like it was already like in a state of being done, because it was somehow related to this old reality and to this, I'm just going to say it, to this way of living that was not the most tied to their soul. That was not the deepest existence that they could have had. Like, it was meant to fall away. It was meant to crumble, both externally as well as internally, both materially as well as emotionally. And they're going to be feeling like absolutely like off the rocker, destabilized in their life in every single way. But they're going to be feeling like, okay, I'm walking in this new direction, even though this thing meant a lot to me. This thing that I created, that I built, meant a lot to me. But there's something new and fresh in this direction, and there's something more significant to my soul that makes me connect to my like inner child, as well as true passion for life that is something that's maybe for them that wasn't related to all the stuff they did and that they built. They're reinventing themselves at the deeper level, at the deeper emotional, spiritual level. And look at this. Okay, so you're not going to be like making moves. If you do, you're going to send like a little text or something, or like you're just going to kind of sit there and watch and see what happens, because you're not sure, like, are they, you know, this player, or are they my like long-term partner ever and ever? There's like two options in your head when you meet this person. Yeah, this person's either the highest or they're like a total karmic player. Karmic / player, I should say. But look at this, the Knight of Cups. They turn out to be the Knight of Cups that you felt they were. Isn't that so beautiful? They do have this beautiful heart, and despite, you know, how much they have focused on their career, their just in general, the structures of their life that had to do everything with just everything external about their life. You know what I'm saying. I don't need to repeat myself. They're going to be asked by Spirit to literally redo their entire life. And I'm almost like not feeling sorry for them. I want them to do that, but it's a daunting task. And, you know, in some ways, like it's great because they've already built so much. They've already experienced what it's like to build with your hands. The energy of fixed energy is all about building, in my opinion, and about creating structures that are meant to last. Like, they've already sort of done this and they're capable of doing this, but was the core of what they created in line with their soul? Did they truly get that fulfillment? Like, you know, where they were always sort of glancing at this soul wish, this deepest emotional and spiritual desire that they had within them, which was maybe, you know, for a life partner who shared their purpose, who could build these empires with them, who could truly understand them emotionally, not just appreciate them for being attractive or charismatic or successful, which they get so much of this. But Spirit wanted them to change all of this about their life so that they may receive that most significant and most precious of gifts that they could in life, which I feel like they never did. And if they were ever sort of like lying to themselves that they don't need it, or that this is not something that they can acquire and that they're meant to be like this and this and successful and like stable and whatever. And this, like the Tower came up twice, right? So Spirit is really strong with this one. Like, they are meant to be in this relationship with you. They're meant to embrace this higher spiritual path that is in line with their true heart's desire. So let's see, yeah, your shared purpose together is, oh my gosh, look at this, root chakra, culmination, hematite. This is more Tower card energy for me. You come into each other's lives at the point of a paradigm change. And I feel like you are this person who is, I don't feel like you're the instigator of this necessarily, like they were already in this process, but as soon as they meet you, like the Tower process, like if it was starting to happen right before they met you, like it's complete when they meet you. Like you're the last sort of straw, you're the last puzzle piece before this paradigm change, just them meeting you and the inspiration that you give them that triggers their deepest self, their purest self at the heart level that you give them is going to be what pushes them to embrace this higher path, right? Yeah, so rebuilding structures. This is also about a building here. This is what's going to happen. They're going to rebuild with you and co-create this time, and not do this all by themselves or using this sort of energy or expecting this sort of energy externally as validation and feeding only off of that validation that's external, but in a way where they feel like everything they're creating stems from their heart and from a place of authenticity at a much deeper level. So with pride and sacred sexuality, this is the lighter as well as the darker, the shadow side of your purpose together. And these things always blend together. Light work, shadow work, same thing, right? In the end. So right away what's going to be coming easily to you in this purpose, what you're going to recognize as the thing that just makes you happy about it is the fact that this person is just so magnificent. Like, you're going to be so proud of them. You're going to be so proud to be associated with them. They're going to be so absolutely proud of you. I get a lot of Leo energy in this reading. So lots of Capricorn, Leo, as well as, for some reason, I'm also getting some Scorpio energy, and just in general fixed energies, those came up. So this person might have significant placements in those energies, as well as potentially Sagittarius. I'm not getting so much Pisces, which is the other planet ruled by Jupiter. Anyway, so this person's going to shower you with lots of compliments as well. Like, they think you're that person for them. So they just truly view you as their queen or king. And you're definitely going to feel that way too. It's going to be a mirroring situation. This is what you both feel about each other. And with sacred sexuality here, yeah, what I'm getting the sense of is that this person has never truly connected with the partner at this deep soul level where every aspect of the relationship stems from soul. They maybe have compartmentalized this aspect of their life in the past, or been with a partner with whom they just weren't fulfilled and weren't connected at every single level of their being. And this relationship is gonna like basically scare them a little bit because of the depth. Like, you're going to be able to connect with them at such a significant level that, you know, they maybe had lied to themselves before, that they were like, okay, I don't need this and I don't believe in this. But deep down, remember, the Knight of Cups came out twice. Deep down, was truly always their heart. And the Knight of Cups is so sweet, such a sweet, beautiful energy. Someone who is just a true idealist deep down. And if they've ever silenced or suppressed that side of them, this relationship is 100% going to trigger them, because it's going to show them that all of it is possible. So they might, you know, be triggered to sort of run away. But so this is something that you'll be working through, the sort of shadow side of this relationship. But at the very end of the day, it's always going to come back to this, like this, there's no higher person than this for me. This person is that true, powerful partner for me in life in every single way. The 10 of Pentacles, I mean, this is also a Pentacle card. We have so many things that mirror each other in this reading, so many signs, so many just messages that are emphasized. So there's just no way that they can deny who you are to them, 100%. And the same way for you as well. Like, you're gonna also be second guessing, like, is this person, you know, a player at first, but deep down, you get to know their heart, and it's beautiful, and it's going to be inevitable that they recognize their true connection with you. So let's get a little bit more information on your journey together. I'm going to pull these transparent tarot cards. Ooh, hello. Okay, so we already get 2 together. Excuse me, this is the first time I'm working with this deck. So we have, I think this is the 3 of Pentacles. No. This might be the Empress. Oh yeah, the Empress and the High Priestess. Okay, together. Am I holding it wrong? Okay, I'm holding it wrong. I think it's the other side up. Sorry. So this is the High Priestess and then the Empress. So yeah, this is a journey of the soul. This person has learned a lot in life. They're very knowledgeable. They're very, again, I feel like they're older than you for some reason. They've gathered a lot on this path, a lot of information, and they're just very successful, right? But now they're being called to learn the lesson of their soul, and to listen to their intuition, and to listen to their spirit guides. And with this card here that signifies the Empress, they're literally being asked to embrace their feminine side, as well as potentially just in general their partner. This is the energy of receptivity, so it's about inviting in the feminine aspects of life. This is of course all genderless. Oh my gosh, Hierophant too. This is the card of deep spiritual commitment, as well as institutions, but I'm not surprised to see that energy highlighted for them. Wow, only major arcana so far, and I promise you that I shuffled this deck a lot. Oh, hello. my gosh. Okay. I see you. Yep. The Three of Swords. So yeah, you're both going to be feeling like, okay, this person could absolutely break my heart. Like, this is that highest connection to me. So I'm not going to open up easily to this, but it's going to be undeniable, your connection. Basically, you both have the key to each other's hearts, and like it's all up to basically like what I'm sensing is that like you're this beautiful like Empress energy, right? And you're there just sort of blossoming beautifully by yourself, regardless of what's happening in your life. Like just self-sufficiently, you are this gorgeous entity, and you are just so powerful by yourself and so self-sufficient emotionally as well. And this person is a little bit they're just in disbelief at how you can be so self-sufficient and so just powerful by yourself without feeding off of any sort of external validation, any sort of like material or social validation. Not that you don't have any of that. I'm just saying that there is this beauty as well as like, yeah, just spiritual depth from within you that feels unshakable to them. Like with like this tree here, you are this really old, wise soul. And emotionally and spiritually, you're the one who is more in tune with that than they are. There's someone who has suppressed some sort of heartbreak or feeling of disappointment when it comes to partnership. Okay, I'm just going to take these. This was a violent shuffle, which I'm not at all surprised by because the Tower came up twice anyway. So, I can't with you guys. With you guys, I can't even. So, 10 of Cups. Yep. Yeah, this person has suppressed this desire for the 10 of Cups within them, and has sort of like single-handedly caused this sort of heartbreak or this blockage mentally, that they can't have that for some reason, and they haven't acted upon that. See how this person here is pointing in a different direction than this partnership. Like it's almost like, you know, this person is just sort of I don't know what they're doing, but they're literally like causing their own issues in order to not align to this path because of a fear of heartbreak. But look at this. These major arcana absolutely trump anything that's happening here within this person's mind. They're thinking about it. You know, the Four of Cups is a card that's about not claiming an offer that is made and not acting on something. But remember, they're taking action. They're giving you an offer. The Knight of Cups is here, right? So, oh yes, and the Lovers coming up next. Yeah, beautiful. They see you, and they know that this is basically inevitable. Like spirit is calling them. Like I know I'm holding a lot of cards and I'm trying, because these cards like are supposed to add together to form a little story, but I'm finding it hard to, I feel like they're two little stories. Let's make it this way, okay? So this is sort of like the earthly story and the story of what they're telling themselves, what they feel is the possibility sort of with you here. But spiritually, they already know the truth, and you've already both been connected and been destined to meet, because remember, there are so many like sort of external elements to your meeting. There was just such a divine timing aspect of it, not in necessarily a comfortable way, but it was meant to happen. The union of these two energies was meant to come together in this beautiful organic sort of way, and it's unshakable from the beginning, basically. So whatever is happening here at the lower level of the human, the ego, is temporary. You're meant to have this 10 of Cups, this beautiful, you're meant to basically rebuild together and to build together this most significant long-term partnership as well as experience. Yeah, so I should have done this a different way so that you see these transparent cards better, but alas. Yeah, look at this. The next card was going to be what you're meant to release in order to invite this partnership into your life more quickly or just in the best way possible. So we have release fear. How absolutely self-explanatory here. This is more of this Seven of Swords energy. So just trust that your heart and your spiritual guidance is correct. Trust your intuition. Don't feed yourself stories based on what others tell you as well. With the Page of Swords here, this tells me about like social media as well as just in general collective thoughts as well as ego-based thoughts from those around you. Don't let that define this meeting as well as this partnership and this experience for you, because there's something much deeper happening at the soul level here. I'm going to try to find, let's see, no, does everything have patterns around me? I just wanted to show you again how these cards are so much more significant and so much more calm than the energy of these cards. Yes, like the Ten of Cups is a beautiful, gorgeous card here, and of course the couple is embracing and they're in union here forever, right? But this person's like stabbing themselves, the Three of Swords, and the Four of Cups is like, you know, blocking their own desires from taking place, taking root. But it's already happening at the soul level. This is taking root. So don't let this experience basically be defined by any sort of regular or normal paradigm that you see around you. Like, this doesn't have to be that heartbreaker player person that you see like all over social media, or that all of your friends maybe, or some of your friends or acquaintances have had experiences with. This doesn't have to be that energy. This is a very unique partnership. You both are just such powerful individuals. You are absolutely meant for each other. You are just going to co-create together in a way that no one else can with either of you. You are just fit for each other, right? I mean, it's just so obvious to me that this is that partnership. This is that Ten of Pentacles, that ultimate partnership in life, in the way that you literally feel right off the bat. Like, this is that, or it's someone who, you know, is a sort of karmic mirror for that, so I have to watch out, but it isn't. So the one way that you could identify whether it is this person you're meeting or someone else is, are you meeting them in a way that's unexpected, or that is a lot happening in their life when you're meeting them? Which, of course, that could also be the case for other situations, but you're going to feel it at the soul level. Absolutely, you're going to feel it. And it's going to be, you're going to be very attracted to this person, but in a way that's so unique, and that's not just physically, chemically based, but just spiritually based. So let's pull you one more card here, and then a couple of soulmate messages. Oh my gosh, this card came up for the first deck as well. I can't. It says, okay, embrace, beautiful. Through each other you find the missing pieces. I mean, what more do I have to say? I don't have to say anything else. So let's pull you a couple of soulmate messages here, maybe from their heart or from spirit or from just advice for you on this journey. Okay, love and respect your loved one's opinions, but remain grounded in your own truth. You are both wise and beautiful souls. Everyone has a piece of the truth. Okay, so you're coming from different places, maybe also different cultural backgrounds. You might have different sort of sets of values, but not in a way that undermines your deep soul connection. Okay, we also get two other messages, so I'm just going to take both. 0% surprised to see this. A profound transformation is taking place in your life. Be yourself. You have much to offer to the world by just being you. Your love has the power to transform all things, including your relationship and love life. So literally, by being you, you're a transformative presence for this person. You are going to change everything about the way that they view possibility for love in this life. And look at this, your smile illuminates my soul. It makes me feel whole. There is no part of me that your love cannot fill. From the first moment we met, I am forever grateful, and I count my blessings each day. Beloved Jewel. Oh, that's such a gorgeous energy. And of course they would call you Jewel because they're so proud of you. There's such a beautiful, expressive, like extroverted sort of solar energy to the way that they appreciate you. So you're going to feel that right away. They're going to feel you right away. You're going to know there's going to be so much power to this that it's going to feel like crazy at first. Like, is this something that is safe for me, that is beautiful, that is that is this partnership that I am dreaming of? And the answer is yes, you're going to feel that energy. It's going to be unmistakable. So that's what I see for your reading. I hope some of this resonated. Let me know what happens. I want to hear your stories, your comments. If you're interested in that reading, that includes messages about the different types of soulmates out there. I'm going to have that link below. I also have a reading up there already that's about what's manifesting for you in love in general. And I will also post a reading about what's blocking love right now. So messages of healing when it comes to love. So thank you so much for watching and have a lovely day or night. Bye. So hello everyone who picked pile number 3, as well as this rose quartz heart here. So this reading is going to be all about your sacred soulmate partnership and union or reunion that wants to come your way and that spirit wants me to let you know about. So if you're wondering about what type of soulmate or which soulmate this is going to be, it's just going to be about the most significant one that wants to come through. So if you're interested in learning more about the difference between karmic partners, soulmates, and twin flames, so-called all of these labels, I have a video linked below, and the intro has a discussion all about that. So this is meant to be a very significant relationship in your life. I assume that most of you are probably singles who are watching this, although of course those who are in relationships are also welcome to watch this for confirmation. So this is going to be someone who is very positive and beautiful to you. It's not meant to be a difficult karmic partnership or relationship, or on the other side, not something that's meant to end even more quickly than it started. So this is a significant partnership. You may think of it as your highest soulmate partnership, and just the one that wants to come through for you right now. So first, there are going to be a few parts to this reading. The first one is going to be all about them, who they are as a person, what their passion and purpose is in life, as well as how you're going to meet. Then we're going to look at your shared purpose together and how you're going to both be feeling when you meet each other. And then we're going to pull you some cards for your story and then some final cards for advice. So let's get some information about who this person is. And sometimes the cards might be blending together as for who they are and how you're going to meet. But so I'm going to flip all of them over here. Okay, so what I already see, wow, what beautiful energy here with the King of Cups here, King of Hearts. We have 10 of Pentacles as well as the World. Wow, oh my gosh. This could definitely be your highest counterpart because they are just so complete in the way that I sense them. They are everything that you've been looking for, and I'm using here my beautiful Jane Austen tarot deck. I don't think I even have to say which character this one is. But this person is such a beautiful individual. They are emotionally mature. They have reached a place of completion within themselves as well as in their life. So they are well established in the world. They probably are very successful financially, professionally, in their passion, their purpose, their career. But most of all, what I see that's so beautiful is that they are also emotionally and spiritually accomplished, or just at the very least in line with their heart and their soul. This is someone who is your sort of ultimate life partner. I mean, gosh, the King of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, they have it all. They are able to connect with you on every single level. They're able to provide everything for you. Not that you would necessarily need that, but if you so wished to have that, and if you wanted to co-create, this is someone who's going to be able to meet you at any possible level because they're so established. They're not in any sort of disarray in their life. They're just there sort of wisely kind of waiting and existing as their beautiful self. This is someone who has a deep soul. They might be older than you, but I just sense that they're just an old soul in general. You have had probably many lifetimes together in partnership, and this might be actually your highest sort of partnership at the highest soul level. So maybe a sort of twin flame, or definitely really high divine counterpart here. And they have just so much love within their soul that they're able to give. Their love is boundless. With the World here, this is the most mature possible energy. So their love is the most precious, beautiful thing. So with the 10 of Pentacles here being so floral and like abundant, and in a way I almost thought that this was like the 10 of Cups, but it isn't. Yeah, they're just the ultimate life partner that you would want. I think that their interests relate to art in some ways. They have a lot of spare sort of energy, so they might be investing in hobbies that are simply for the sake of beauty. I get a lot of Venus energy. They might have prominent Venus placements in their chart. Of course, the obvious is that they might be Capricorn, not Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy heavily in their chart. Although, you know what, Capricorn too, because the world came up and the world is signified by Capricorn. So Capricorn, Cancer axis, someone who's integrated these energies within themselves. I might be getting a little bit of Libra too. Don't worry if none of this resonates, and who knows, maybe you don't know yet. So anyway, for their life purpose as well as passion or profession, we get Uranus. So stir up the situation by using, it says, be open to new ideas about blank, 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 invent a way to blank, blank, blank. I like how we have these blanks here. So it's all about the unexpected. And on the other side, we have an unusual example, a different way of looking at, and an unexpected change. So this person is someone who inspires people deeply with what they create and just who they are in general. They could be a teacher or a professor or in some sort of higher education institution, because I always think of that when I think of the higher planets or the generational planets as well as the world here, and the 10 of Pentacles to some degree. But there's someone who is capable of creating change at an institutional level too, by just simply their wisdom and their imparting of wisdom and their guidance to others, whether it's in an emotional or spiritual way, whether it's in a more intellectual way, whether it's even like in a practical, even financial way, for example. Whatever they do, they change those around them for the better. They could also be healers or have a significant connection to spiritual energy in a way where they use it as a sort of tool to help others. So yeah, let's see about how you're going to meet. It says house 5, so passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. So maybe at a performance event of some kind, maybe even at a sporting event, but I sense that it has something to do with art. So we talked about that already. This person has a lot of time and maybe money to invest in beauty and art and things to do with performance. I'm really getting that with house 5. This is really about, I always think of Leo energy as the prime performer energy. So you're going to meet them in this sort of Leo way. They're going to stand out to you. They're going to be very beautiful. You might both be sort of performing at this event. I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to be speaking at this event also publicly, especially if they are sort of some like an institutional leader of some sort, or like a teacher of some kind, or like I'm also getting just coach as well. They could be like a life coach or like a sort of self-improvement coach or just in general energy like that. And that's about healing, self-healing, self-actualization. This is someone who helps others self-actualize, absolutely. And you're going to be meeting in some sort of way where there's an event happening that's beautiful, like whether it's in this capacity or whether it's an artistic performance or event in general. Okay, so let's see how you're going to be feeling about them. And then we'll of course pull cards for how they feel about you. Okay, so oh wow, we get the sun right off the bat. Okay, you're just so, yeah, this is more Leo energy. So they could also be a Leo, but in general, you're just gonna see them in this sort of Leo way, as in like they stand out to you, like they have this like halo around them, there's like glittery like sunlight falling onto them because they just seem like this gorgeous energy. Okay, so we get too many cards. I just want 3 cards here. 3 cards total. And with this person here at the bottom, doing yoga, you're gonna feel like they are sort of like, I want to say, like the answer to the prayer you never knew you had. Wow, Nine of Cups, beautiful. Literally the answer to your prayers, to your highest hopes and wishes. They feel like, yeah, the ultimate partner. Like, it's so simple. It's such a straightforward reading that I don't want to be reductive, but it's just, this is what's coming through in this pile. Okay, that's too many. Let's just get one more card. Maybe you were meeting them because you took the step towards, I don't know, signing up for like a retreat, or like yeah, some sort of a spiritual retreat, or oh my gosh, yep, look at this. Yeah, this person is definitely like your twin flame or highest counterpart or soulmate. There is nothing else that I can even say about this. I'm just here like, yeah, I know what this reading is now. I know how it's gonna go. You're both walking the same path, whether you know it or not, and you're gonna recognize each other instantly. For you, it's gonna be in a sort of blinding way, like you're just gonna know it, like it's obvious. We'll see what it's like for them. Oh my gosh, and the star at the bottom of the deck. I couldn't have imagined better cards for you, like, you know, right off the bat, like this, like, am I imagining this person? You're gonna be asking yourself, like, no, because they are very real. Like, their presence is so charismatic, so beautiful. They have such a, like, it's not a, like, okay, pile, I think the previous pile was a pile 2, yeah. Their person was someone who was very powerful, and they came off in a way more like sort of bombastic way, and it was obviously charismatic, like everyone enjoys them, everyone thinks they're attractive objectively, and this person is very much like that too, but they also have this like humble attitude to them. You sense right off the bat that their heart is so pure and beautiful and good, and there's just this like lovability to them right off the bat. Like, that's what I wanted to say with this card, because of this sort of like poetic gaze that this person has. That you just feel this blossoming within them. Like, their heart is such a blossoming heart. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm not very poetic today with my words about this person, but oh my gosh, yeah, 6 of Cups, the soulmate card. They feel like they've known you already. You immediately make them connect to this part of themselves that is their sort of purest childlike self. Oh my gosh, and as I say that, Page of Cups, yeah, this is what I think of as this sort of inner child card as well. You make them feel a little bit younger than they actually are. Like, they might be very nervous around you, or very sort of, like, you might be wondering, like, how is this person who's like so like well established, so powerful, so charismatic, like acting like this around me? And that is because they recognize the soul connection right away. Oh yeah, you know what, this reading, is this like a fake reading? Because I don't even know. 10 of Cups, like they view you as their highest counterpart immediately as well. And okay, with the Knight of Swords, they might be feeling like, okay, logically, this is not, it doesn't make sense. Like, there might be some sort of element, I'm not sure what it is, about your connection or your identity or whatever that makes them think like, okay, how could this be? Like, how is it that like this person is this to me? Yeah, maybe there is some sort of like age difference with the World coming up. I always sense that, and the 10 of Pentacles, we have 2 cards that signify like, you know, the old age, not necessarily like old, but just that signify that this person could be older than you. Maybe there is that aspect, and you make them feel like, yeah, I was talking about age, right, and youth. So you make them feel like you're infinitely sort of wiser, and like you're even older than them, even though you might not be, you could be. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same for everyone here, but you seem like this eternal source of light to them, and like your wish, their wish is coming true too, like the answer to their prayers as well. You know, this is such a beautiful card, such a lovely exchange of energy here. But I do notice that, yeah, one person is sort of higher, the other is lower. So there could be a sort of difference in social standing of some sort. There's a sort of like disconnect here between you, I think, at a social level or emotionally as well, because this is a Cups card. There might be a sort of like misalignment emotionally initially because of some sort of logical blockage. Like this person might be holding back their feelings for you a little bit and applying logic first because they're like, okay, like this person is just the ultimate like source of light and beauty and just everything that I ever hoped for. They also just think that you're very attractive, of course, and that you're also very artistic too with the Ten of Cups here. Like I sense lots of creative energy here with the mermaids as well. Like it seems like a very fantastical sort of place. Yeah, they want the full thing with you. They want everything with you. So let's see what your purpose together is. But yeah, there's this sort of blockage, I think, initially for them where they're wondering, like, is this feasible? Like, is this gonna work? Can this work? So let's see. For your purpose together, we have, we have Saturn. So Saturn came up. All right. So this really does make me think of Saturn returns, which also makes me think of ages and cycles. There's a significant lesson that you both have to complete before you meet each other. So you might meet each other after you've already experienced what you might have felt was like a significant relationship, or after you've built a significant part of your life. But this relationship wants to bring sort of discipline to your spiritual experience and your spiritual purpose in life. It's not just about the material and the physical. This is all about integration. It's about growth at the highest possible level. And with Saturn, this also for me always indicates, when it comes up in a positive reading like this, it also indicates marriage. So yeah, right off the bat, like this person, like you both know that you're that significant, absolutely highest partner for each other. Like this is your highest partnership, soulmate, twin flames, if you believe in that, if you resonate with that idea. But there are going to be some obstacles surrounding this, something to do with shedding old ideals based in logic and based in ego and based in just old limitations about beliefs when it comes to love, and maybe things to do with material limitations such as, like an age difference or like a difference in culture or some social aspect that seems like it's causing some sort of blockage, or that makes this opportunity or this relationship feel not completely feasible or not so easy to just embrace and go with the flow immediately. Especially for them, I feel like that they're going to be triggered into this because you're like, yep, this person is the highest individual for me. They are my twin flame. You didn't even know about that maybe before, and you found out about it. Yeah, and with the star here at the bottom of the deck for you, yeah, this is the answer to the prayer you never knew you had. And below that we get the Hermit. So like, it's either like this person or no one for me. It feels like a little bit difficult or black and white, but that might be potentially one limitation or blockage that you're meant to work through as you find and you come into this partnership. So it says aspiration and then transmute. We have, this is the light and the shadow aspect of your purpose, which is this card that we just talked about, which is Saturn. As usual, light and shadow energy mirror each other. They are always in connection. So this person absolutely opens your mind, opens your soul. They are a sort of teacher to you spiritually, as any sort of divine sacred partnership is going to be. They are a significant spiritual teacher to you that helps you open your horizons, whether that is professionally, whether that is when it comes to learning in general. Like I'm getting very like ninth house energy, like Sagittarius, higher learning, higher spiritual learning energy. They also make you realize just how special you are and how many talents you have, and how much more you should put yourself out there and believe in yourself. And you do the same for them. You also, like, you just sort of expand their soul. Like, you're very like a Jupiter sort of influence on them, and that you just make them feel like there's so much more out there. Like they're so much like bigger at the soul level spiritually when they're around you, even though I did say that they feel a little bit younger than you sometimes, so you're like confused if they act that way, and when they do act sort of shy around you, because you're like, oh my gosh, you're like so mature, you're so accomplished, so whatever. But they feel like you are the one who gives them that energy. So with transmute being the shadow card here, this is about shedding different limitations, because I think both of you have sort of different lessons to work through that don't necessarily mirror each other. I'm not getting the sense here. It's about shedding certain limitations when it comes to your belief in love and regarding partnerships and what is possible. It's also because of the Six of Cups I interpret it as a past life partnership. And even before this came up, like I was saying, like you had many past lives together. But I feel like this life is meant to be such a beautiful one, and you're meant to come into union and to have it be this highest possible level thing, this long-term, eternal sort of partnership where the spiritual reality of it is mirrored on earth. That's what I get with the world here. It's a very deep sort of reading in the sense that any sort of blockages are coming up from past life experiences. Like, yes, there might be social related issues or blockages, or like logic based, ego based, inward blockages for both of you when it comes to this. Specifically when it comes to the idea and the energy of limitation. You might feel like something about this is limited, when in fact I was just talking about limitlessness. This is an eternal connection. But those stem at a deeper level from past life experiences together. So you're both going to be nudged in this very Uranian sort of way on this incredibly significant spiritual journey. Simply by meeting each other, you're going to be absolutely you're going to be nudged on this journey. You're going to get started on this journey eventually, and it's going to last for the rest of your lives, because this is that ultimate partnership. I'm not getting anything less significant than that for you. So let's see more about your story together here. And I'm going to use this cloth here that came with the deck, because for the past two decks, it was kind of hard to see the cards, especially with my patterned table over here. So let's just see your journey together with this person. Of course, the first card escapes and I cannot see it. Oh my gosh. Hello. Where are you? Ah, I see it. Okay. Wow. Okay. I don't even have to do this. I don't have to finish this reading. I really don't know. I'm just kidding. We get Temperance, as well as we get the King of Cups once again. Yeah, this is your highest possible connection. And I love how in this deck we get, one person is very, and I'll put it down so you see, one person is very sort of fire energy and the other is water energy. So you might have placements that signify these energies here. Basically your yin and yang energies to each other. You are very similar, but at the same time there's a lot of complementary energy about you. Whoa. Okay. Okay, so we get the Six of Wands. We also get the Three of Wands and the Knight of Cups. Okay. Yeah, so with the Knight of Cups as well as the King of Cups here, this is such beautiful energy. But do you see always how one person is sort of higher? And I feel like this is a commentary on how you both view each other as the more advanced one, spiritually, emotionally, even in other senses of the word, because the Six of Wands also came up. Both of you might view the other as being more successful than the other, but you're both equal, right? So with this Temperance card, this speaks about equality. It speaks about balance. It's associated with Libra, with Sagittarius energy, but it's also, in my book, very Libran as a sort of energy. And it's usually there's an angel juggling these two cups, right? So it's an absolutely spiritual and angelically led and guided connection. So look at this. We have the spirit guides here holding a sort of torch together. They're making this happen, and they're helping you along this path. They're making you realize that there isn't any sort of inequality in this relationship. You both are equally successful, equally significant, equally mature, as well as spiritually capable. And I think that this is going to be the big sort of task of your relationship and your path and your journey together, is to realize that you're both equally capable. And I think you both view that the other has certain assets or accomplishments or talents or abilities that are higher or more advanced than theirs, but in different ways. So while maybe one person is more the spiritually attuned one, the other views them as like sort of like unreachable in that sense. Like they really admire that ability for them, or for you, if that's you, to be so intuitive and to connect so deeply at that level spiritually, and to understand messages and guidance and intuition. And I feel like that's you, because they're the ones sort of like second guessing this connection first and putting up a sort of like mental blockage around it and questioning it. So they admire that aspect of you and your ability to just connect to this, I mean, look at this, such a similar sort of energy here with this, what I always think of as the twin flame card. And this energy here, this is the spirit guides leading this connection towards manifestation and your journey towards fulfilling it. So you're that person who's sort of more awakened and who's able to see this so clearly from the beginning, and they come off as this such a well-established individual, whether professionally and financially, or also in other ways too. Like you're both you both come off as water energy, so both of you have the same exact potential, both probably very artistic. Again, we talked about how you're going to connect through art. Probably you're going to meet in some way related to performance, or that has something to do with you taking some sort of step towards learning of some sort, like taking a class or something. You might meet in a class or a classroom or whatever, but you're both on this learning journey together, no matter what the levels seem. It might seem like you're learning at different levels, but it's really irrelevant at this sort of spiritual level what those differences are, because you're absolutely so equal and you're literally the same energy, right? You marry each other perfectly. You're your highest counterparts. So yeah, there's nothing, again, less significant than that I see for you in this reading. So this is a card that signifies what energy you still need to clear, or that you need to work on or work through in order to come into union with this person. And it says experience rebirth. Yeah, so I'm also getting more sort of twin imagery here, with these two babies sort of stemming from one. And I also get 3 faces here. Wow, crazy. 3 spirit guides watching out for you on this twin flame journey, highest counterpart journey. So it might be different paths for you. I sense that for you it's all about learning about this spiritual process and learning to believe your intuition about it, and to listen to the signs and the guidance that you're getting. Also with birds coming up anytime, it's about guidance. And for them, it's about experiencing some sort of rebirth of their inner child self, and a sort of reawakening to this memory of a past life with you, as well as to their truest calling of their heart that they might have been suppressing because of that card that signified like logic, right? And Saturn coming in saying there have to be certain limits placed on this and that, right? So they have this sort of mindset that brings limitations and limited programming into their understanding of love, so that's what they're sort of working on. And yeah, I mean, such a beautiful reading. Let's pull you one more card. For advice, and then we'll pull 2 soulmate messages. Okay. Oops. These cards are hard to shuffle. Hopefully you'll get something. Okay. So it says, this is the imagery, and it says, beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another or the qualities you both possess. Oh my gosh, didn't I just talk about this? Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. Yeah, this is a very sort of like twin flame message. And it's exactly what I was saying before. Like, you both sort of are on one side sort of intimidated by each other, but you both, that's not your first reaction, is to be intimidated. Your first reaction is to be like, oh my gosh, look at this beautiful individual. They're so expansive. They're so everything. But then you start to second guess yourself, and both of you in very different ways. But again, what you see within, actually, I was just reading a quote from one of my favorite authors, Herder, who's a German philosopher. And the quote in German goes something like, basically the message is like, I'm trying to translate German in my head here, not important. Basically the qualities about you that someone admires the most are also the deepest truths about who you are. So this is, yeah, nothing less than that. You both see what is best in each other. You both think that there's something lesser about you as compared to them, but you're not just yin and yang energy, but you're a perfect sort of reflection of each other. You both have the same abilities and qualities. It might come off in different ways, but you are absolutely equal. And if you are at different points in your learning journey, this is sort of like the long game. Like, you're meant to learn this throughout your experience and throughout your relationship. You're not meant to complete those lessons, all of them, before you come into union or before you meet each other. The entirety of your life and your experience is going to be one filled with like lessons and these moments when you're reflecting a lot on what it is you need to improve or whatever, or expand, and you can do that together. Like, you're meant to do that together. And if at any point there are triggers that have to do with limitation and with logic kicking in and saying like these differences that you sense that are sort of only really there at this earthly level are sort of deal breakers, then the lesson is to remove those blockages and those limitations. So it says, life is a cycle of changing seasons. Let us welcome each new season and surrender the past grace. Let us remember that nothing is ever lost, for all exists eternally within our hearts. So this to me speaks to that message about past lives. And if I feel like most of the triggers, besides this perceived but not really true inequality that you sense, where both of you might feel like sort of like you have imposter syndrome in relation to each other. It's about your past life experiences that are coming through into those realities now that are triggering you. And this connection and situation is eternal. So not fearing that no matter what happens, it's ever going to go away. Even if there are moments when things seem to be stagnating, or you seem to be not in alignment, or both of you don't seem to be recognizing the truth in the situation, which I sense that yes, you are the one who is more freely open to it at first. You're always connected. So it says, yep, dwelling on the past and future keeps me from experiencing the power of now. I make a conscious choice to be present. I accept love now. I am grateful for your love. So yeah, I really sense that there's a message there about like, I feel like for them, the main trigger is going to be like they sense this like long-term potential with you, right? With the 10 of Cups. So they're going to feel intimidated by the fact that they have the same vision that you have, which is like, oh yeah, this is the ultimate person, right? They're going to be intimidated by that because they're like, well, there's so many like steps that we would need to take on that. But Spirit is like, bro, you don't need to take all of them like on the same day. You don't need to do that all in one go. So just be here and sense the love and recognize it and be grateful for it right now. And you just perpetuate it from moment to moment. And it's a beautiful growing experience that is absolutely meant to be co-creative between you two. And that is meant to be this ultimate highest partnership for you. So this is the next partnership that wants to come your way, nothing less than that. And with these cards here, you might be waiting sort of for like this person to awaken, because I get, yeah, Hermit, 3 of Swords and awakening coming up. But this is a process that you can take in order to prepare yourself even more by clearing some of these blockages, like maybe doing past life meditation, maybe doing a lot of like energy work in order to keep yourself as high vibrational as possible, so that when you do meet this person or maybe come into a reunion with this person, if that resonates for you, you're in this place where alignment is possible and where a lot of these like Saturnian perceived blockages are already sort of removed and transmuted. Because remember, the shadow card here is about transmuting this sort of energy that is a sort of perceived block. So the more sort of you walk the spiritual path by yourself right now, the more you're going to have a beautiful and smooth journey with fewer and fewer triggers than if you hadn't. So keep doing you and keep these hopes for manifesting this person or for attracting this person here, because they're extremely powerful right now. So this is a timeless reading, but if you do happen to be watching this in February 2022, this is a one-of-a-kind portal and gateway, astrologically speaking, a 222 portal. Venus and Mars are in conjunction in Capricorn, the sign of the earth and the materials, which means it wants to bring highest sort of soulmate partnerships just like this into union in the physical. So that's such a beautiful thing. It's just a great time to be doing lots of energy work like this, because it's going to have like a tenfold effect than if it were happening during any other time. So that's just like a sort of extra message that I felt like I needed to tell you, because I feel like you're in an advanced place spiritually right now, that you have this opportunity to take these sort of shortcuts energetically to attract this highest divine partnership to you. And the more you do that, the more you help them as well from afar, even if you're not at all in contact right now, as most of you probably aren't. So these are the messages that I see for you, pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it resonated. I would love to hear your stories. Maybe check back in if ever anything like this happens. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you want to learn more about twin flames, soulmates, karmic partners, so on, I do have that video linked below. And I also have a video up there about what's manifesting for you in love right now. And I will also do a separate video on what's blocking love at the moment. So more energies and readings on healing energy of love and on transmuting and doing some sort of shadow work. So thank you so much for sticking around. I would appreciate your likes, subscribes, and I hope you have a lovely day or night whenever you're watching. Thank you so much. Bye. So hello everyone who picked pile number 4 as well as this amethyst here. So this reading is going to be all about your sacred partnership and soulmate union or reunion. So this reading is going to have multiple parts, and if you're wondering about how do you know like which soulmate this is about, or if it's about a particular person, I anticipate probably most of you watching are singles at the moment, but you may also of course be watching this reading for confirmation on a current relationship, so that's totally welcome. And the answer to the first question is that I'll be reading into whatever soulmate and partner wants to come through right now, that spirit really wants to bring to you through me. So this is going to be a significant relationship. So if you're interested about the difference between so-called karmic partners, soulmates, as well as twin flames, I have a video linked below on twin flames, and the intro talks about the big differences between all of these sort of partnerships. So in any case, this is meant to be a positive, beautiful, significant relationship for you, not something that ends even more quickly than it begins, and not something karmically heavy or difficult. So let's read into the energies here. The first part of the reading is going to be who this person is and how you meet, as well as what their purpose is in life, what their passion is in life. So a little bit of information about you and your meeting, or I mean them and their meeting. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. Them and your meeting. Then the second part is going to be about your purpose together, so your spiritual as well as earthly purpose, and how you both feel and recognize this as you meet. Then we're going to go through what your story with them is, and we'll pull some final advice for the reading. So let's see, without further ado. Okay. Oh, wow. Already, what I sense. Interesting. So right off the bat, for you, I sense I should say that there's a lot of Sagittarius, Cancer, as well as Gemini energy in this reading, but especially I think Gemini. So someone who is incredibly intelligent, very goal-oriented here with the Seven of Wands. They are very driven, and they're very capable of understanding what they want in life. They know exactly sort of what they want. They are very smart, very intellectual, but at the same time, they're incredibly sensitive and feeling. So we have the Lovers here. This is absolutely divine partnership. Like, we already knew that because this is what the reading is about. But this is just a further indication of that. In this particular Jane Austen tarot deck, the major arcana are blended with the minor arcana. So we have also Six of Cups signified here. So that's what makes me really blend together the energy of, we already have Mercury here, Cancer's coming up, but that's for something else. So the energy of Gemini and Cancer together, someone who's maybe, who has placements in both. And this is someone who's quite idealistic and who has certain maybe traditional ideas about partnership and marriage and relationships. But they are also quite unconventional in many ways, with the Joker as well as the Seven of Wands here. There's a very traditional part of them, a very traditional aspect of them, as well as a very sort of playful, childlike, and just open-hearted and light-hearted aspect of them. So they might be not necessarily younger than you, but they're on the younger side right now, I sense. With the Six of Cups, this signifies past lifetimes together, definitely, but I feel like there might have been a sort of like break in your connection in past lifetimes, so this feels like the start of a new cycle for you. In any case, this is all weird downloads that I'm getting as usual. Some cards, the different messages from the cards are blending together. This person has definitely not been married before. They haven't been in a very significant relationship before, so that's what I felt with the youthful sort of energy. They've been very focused on their learning, their higher learning, as well as their goals. So they haven't really been building something necessarily like a structure of life or something like that. They are probably single at the moment in the way that I'm sensing it. Yeah, it feels to me like there's just like a very free, unshackled energy, and I'm not surprised to see that with Sag as well as Gemini coming together. They might find themselves to be sort of like lone wolves, or just in general to be very ambitious, very self-sufficient in this life, where they just have been so focused on like what they wanted from the beginning, to the point maybe where they have been working solely on their purpose in a way that relates to their passion and their career, but not really focusing so much on relationships. Like, on one side they have this sort of idea about the highest partnership, and they're very idealistic, maybe in some ways traditional about it, as I was saying, but they haven't really acted upon it. They haven't really done anything with it. There's a very intellectual side to their energy. I also get the sense of Aquarius for some reason. someone who's just very free and who's not afraid to be alone if that's just what is necessitated by their life circumstances at that moment. They are very resourceful, as well as, this energy speaks to me about just walking their own path and playing their own game without worrying about what others think and without really second guessing themselves, no matter what is happening. Even if they do have this deep idealistic desire for a relationship and a partnership, it doesn't seem to me like they're willing to do absolutely anything to go out of their way to get it, unless they feel truly triggered into some sort of soulmate recognition. Like, it's very sort of like black and white for them. Like, they're very focused on their career, very focused on their purpose, and they're totally happy to be alone right now because that's just what makes sense for them right now. They're learning a lot. They're gathering lots of skills, lots of information, both about themselves and the external world, with a lot of Sagittarius energy. Not a lot, but this is coming up as that, right? They want to explore a lot. They want to understand a lot of things about the world. They want to maybe just have different sort of experiences in life. So this is someone who's incredibly open-minded, who is very curious about everything around them. And they have so much energy within their own mind that it's almost like there's kind of like not room for someone else when they're in this mode of acquiring information and life purpose and life experience. So communicate. I'm not surprised to see Mercury coming up. They're very, mercurial in the sense where they move very quickly. They're very light on their feet, sort of. They're very, resourceful in the way that they know exactly where they're supposed to be going. And I'm speaking pretty quickly where I can't even speak in this reading. So they're very talkative. They are very, like if they start talking, like it never ends. And they analyze a lot. And they're very sort of, I'm getting such a clean sort of energy. They're incredibly intelligent and just clear-minded, and they are able to see and understand basically anything. They're very, very smart. With the other side of this, it comes, the awareness of many thoughts about or from many words. I like how this card, these cards, set of cards from the Karma deck, sometimes has incomplete sentences. So it speaks to me about how they're meant to learn a sort of lesson about being discerning in the world and going about all of this exploration sort of in a way where they're focusing on, like, yes, she's shooting this arrow and it's going into the target, right? On one side, that's very direct and she's going straight for the target, but look at how many arrows there are. I feel like this person sort of juggles a lot of interests and energies. I'm definitely getting very Gemini Sagittarius axis, which if you think about that, north and south nodes, someone with a Gemini south node, for example, would have a lot of interest in hobbies. And their purpose in this life is to embrace the highest of them in a deeper sort of way and to allow for a spiritual experience to happen, because they're so smart, right? But their intuition is something that is being called to be refined in this lifetime as well as on this journey that they're on right now. So that's what I meant by they're like sort of in this youthful stage of being very focused on these interests, these intellectual interests, and this curiosity that they have about the world. And before they can have this sort of deep soulmate partnership as well as union, they're meant to learn a little bit more about themselves by becoming more open themselves to the world, rather than them being the inquirer about everything else around them being the questioner and the one who analyzes sort of everything. And I'm not surprised to see this card then, Cancer. It says, this is the card for how you will meet. So nurture, comfort, and protection. So this Cancer rules the 4th house. It's energy related to home, to family, to children. So you might meet through some sort of connection through your family, or you might be maybe childhood sweethearts. Maybe that's what I was getting here with this youthful energy. Interesting. And this also being the Six of Cups. Yeah, you might be like sort of childhood sweethearts, or you might have known each other when you were very, very young, and maybe there was a break. Like I was saying before, how there was a break in your relationship. Maybe the break is just the time between then and when you're meant to come together next. So, I think this is a sort of like reunion of sorts. It's not just past life related, but a reunion, maybe even like a family reunion or something like that, or a reunion with old friends. That's what I'm sensing. And children, not so much, like except in the sense where you were maybe children before together, but it's some sort of reunion through either old friends, family, or and at the deeper level, this will happen at a time when especially this person, but both of you have come into a higher understanding of yourselves from an emotional perspective, where you're capable of being open and vulnerable in healthy ways, where you're open to experiencing things from the world, not in this like sort of instigative, like very masculine yang sort of way, but by simply absorbing and allowing energy to come into your life and experiences to come in this while you're in a more like surrendered sort of state. Okay, so let's see about how you both feel when you meet each other. So this is going to be for you. How do you feel about this person when you meet them? Okay. Wow, interesting. Awakening. Yeah, so you're going to be changed by this encounter in some ways, especially because we also have the Hanged Man here. Like, you would never have guessed that this person is going to become what they will to you. You're both, I feel, very intelligent. Whoa, okay. I'm going to take that one at the bottom of the deck. Okay, interesting. You're going to be sort of just surprised and taken aback by this in a way that maybe makes you put up some sort of blockage. The Devil here. Where you're wondering if this person is worth it, if they are capable of being an equal partner to you. We do have the Two of Pentacles at the bottom, and this is the minor arcana version of the Lovers, which you already see here. And this is an energy of sort of balancing and of juggling. So with these three major arcana here, wow, so powerful. You're just wondering if like they're capable of matching you and of being good enough for you in an emotional sense. I feel like on one side, like, yeah, your first reaction is like, I'm more mature than them. But that opinion is going to be changed. You're going to be changed by this encounter initially. Like, even if this speaks about this past experience, maybe like you might be associating this earlier version of themselves, if you did know them in the past, with them, to the point where it's like making you think like, oh, this is impossible, like how can this person be that? But you're going to change your opinion on that, and there's something about them that will be very, very attractive to you. You might be cautious about it. You might go about it not very, like, you might be sort of like casual about it at first. You might like, okay, let's give this a try with the Two of Pentacles. Like, let's see where it goes. But where it goes, it's going to be very surprising, because your mind is going to be changed basically by what they do, how they act. So let's see what they're feeling when you meet them. Yeah, lots of like Gemini energy in this reading. That could also resonate for you, of course. My ring keeps falling over here. Okay. So we get 9 of coins, 3 coins. Okay, and 4 of wands. Okay. Wow, another marriage card. My goodness. Such interesting energies in this reading. So 9 of Pentacles. They're going to view you as incredibly attractive. This is the card of being happy and single, and they're going to view you as that. And in a way, you're both like this. I feel like there's a lot of mirroring energy in that sense. Now I'm starting to get it, where you're very independent. For some reason, I get like Aquarius energy for you, as well as Pisces energy potentially, but you're very sort of independent, maybe Capricorn as well. And you don't want to be tied down by anyone. You don't want to be tied down by anyone who doesn't feel like they have enough potential for what you envision as this sort of highest partnership, or the partnership that is meant to be the most useful and co-creative for you, and not just in a sort of like mundane way, but at the spiritual level. Oh my gosh, I can't speak now. Sorry. So they're going to view you as this very self-sufficient person, and in some ways this is going to trigger things about their own perception of themselves as being self-sufficient, because here they are like beating their drum and like exploring everything and being fearless and youthful and whatever, but this deep desire for connection and for true partnership, I mean, look at this, is going to be triggered in them by you. And when I was saying that your sort of like existence is going to be turned upside down, or just your idea is going to change about them, there's going to be something that changes in that same way, like you triggered them to change their ideas. Like this is someone who like never was truly interested in this before, and they become interested because of you, and they're walking away from a path that felt comfortable for them, from this way of being in the world, from this way of being self-sufficient and of being like totally unconcerned with maybe even anything or anyone except themselves. And you, because they're totally transformed by this experience and by your presence, that's going to transform your own idea of who they are. So in some ways, like you're the one who has this pull over them, but in this sort of like behind the scenes way, like there's a lot of like energy being exchanged and being sort of transformed behind the scenes as soon as you meet, so that they do become this person that you know that you're worthy of. So it's a very sort of interesting message, very different from any of the other decks. Okay, now I'm going to pull you some cards for your journey together. Or actually first I'll leave this here. I'm using my transparent tarot, so this is for the purposes of us actually seeing the cards. I'm sorry that I couldn't think of that for piles 1 and 2, so if you picked multiple piles, well, sorry. Anyways, so these are the cards for your purpose together. So this is Sun, Clarity, Citrine. Not surprised to see such beautiful sparkling energy. Like I was saying before, they're such intelligent people. They're so capable of understanding basically everything. And this relationship and this connection is going to be asking them to understand things from a different perspective and at a different sort of level and of a different sort of energy. If they're very in their mind, if they analyze a lot, they talk a lot, they explore a lot, because this Cancer energy is here. You're both, but I think especially them, going to be asked to tap into that more spiritual and emotional side of understanding through this relationship, and to just embrace the beauty and the youthfulness of it without second guessing that there's something about it that is not right somehow. Like, And okay, we get luck as well as fate. So these are the two sides of the earthly sort of version of the purpose. This is the more like spiritual aspect of the purpose, and this is the light as well as the shadow side of that purpose and your experience together. So we get luck for the light side. So that's beautiful. Like in the end, you're going to realize just how unique you both are, how unique the situation in this partnership is. You're going to value each other a lot because it's just so not just unprecedented in both of your lives, but just it's such a youthful sort of energy that cannot be like bound down in any sort of way. Like it has a life of its own, this relationship. And that might be actually what sort of scares you as well, because we have fate as the shadow aspect. And you might feel like at some points you're being sort of guided into this in a way that you don't understand. Like, how could this person who I would have never thought of in this specific way be given to me and be shown to me as this sort of divine partner to me? So there are going to be some things that, some triggers and some shadow experiences that have to do with free will when it comes to this. And I think you both, but especially them, but both of you need to learn some lessons about freedom and what it truly means. Like, what does it really mean to be free, to be self-sufficient? And are there any sort of blockages on the side of both of you where, okay, we're going to take all of these, you feel that that are stopping you from experiencing and from attracting love because of an idea you have about freedom? So we get, I think this is the Hermit. Okay. We get the King of, yes, the King of Wands, and then the Seven of Wands. Not surprised to see that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I was talking about. That's crazy. Wow. I'm trying to see what order I should put them in, and I feel like it should be Hermit, then King of Wands, then Seven of Wands. So as you can see here, Seven of Wands is about blockage, is about self-preservation, it's about self-defense. And the King of Wands is someone who's very powerful, very sure of themselves. The Hermit card is all about being alone. So add up all of these energies together. And this is the energy of someone saying, and I think it's both of you, like, I'm a powerful person who knows what they want. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to be tied down by anyone. I kind of just want to do my own thing and be alone. And that actually like fulfills me, and I'm totally fine. But then why are you watching this reading, listener? So I think you're both going to be coming from this place. So what's the deeper sort of reason for this? Let's just see your journey together, because you do have to come together, because you are coming together in this journey, right? So, okay, we get the Devil again. Interesting. Yeah, you're both learning to transmute and to change your ideas about what it means to be in partnership. So this is a very significant relationship that will teach you about what it's like to be in a partnership and to still be free, what it's like to be co-creating in the world in general. This is a relationship that is going to teach you all about the energy of co-creation in the world, and about how that is not something that is depleting or that is meant to limit you in any way. In fact, co-creation at the higher level, it does not even have to be at the romantic level. It's an energy that is, in the very end, the highest, because you're co-creating with spirit. And I think this is what the shadow energy is about here. I understand now. This sort of self-reliance, or overabundance of it, or the idea that you should be self-reliant to such a degree, comes from a deep sort of subconscious fear about the goodness of the universe and about faith in general. And the idea that what you need is going to be given to you, and that you have to necessarily fight. This is, oh yeah, we got the Seven of Wands twice. And this, to me, especially with the Sagittarius energy that I get here, sort of like unhealed Sagittarius energy, is about wanting to control everything, because you don't feel like, yeah, you kind of, there's this sort of combative element of relating to the world and to the universe. And I think this relationship is meant to teach you that that is a blockage that is there within you, and that you're meant to clear and transmute, so that you have a more beautiful experience with the Ten of Wands here, yeah. So that you don't have to carry this load all by yourself here. So that, yeah, I mean, this is so beautiful. It's almost like spirit like wants to liberate you from literally carrying this mountain on your back. It wants to elevate you in this spiritual journey so that you experience life and connection and this beautiful learning process that you're undergoing anyway with more ease. And one of the ways to do that is through connecting with others, including in a beautiful life partnership. So I think that's what this reading is about for you, and what the biggest purpose of this relationship is. Here on the Sun card too, we also have like different sort of circles coming together, and that always speaks to me. Whenever I see sort of like intertwined circles like this, reminds me of a card and my Moonchild tarot deck. I think it's also the Sun card. It might be the Three of Pentacles card, and the Three of Pentacles is all about like co-creation. It's about how things are the same on earth and in relationships, like they basically mirror the sort of the divine logic of the bigger whole. And the more you believe that that bigger whole is wholesome and good, and that it recognizes you and that it supports you, the more you're able to be more free and to have more ease in your relationships and in your experience of life, in the way that relationships become this enabling, beautiful, co-creative thing rather than this constraining thing. Wow, so those are some very interesting messages. So what I have next is a card about what you're meant to release as a sort of blockage before you can come into this union, or before you are able to come into this union. So we get 30, step into the unknown. And this is, I think, this is what speaks to that energy of trusting the universe and not putting up so many shields and not sort of blocking yourself so much subconsciously, because I feel like you both are doing that in different ways. See how she has a sort of blindfold here? There's this sort of subconscious blockage when it comes to taking those steps into the future in a way that's empowering and free, rather than like constrained within and overly controlling. Yeah. And with 3, this, I think there was another card that was 30, or maybe I'm completely wrong, but yeah, this is the sort of mental blockage that's taking place right now that I think is limiting both of you, or keeping you apart at the moment. So when you both clear this, you can come into this beautiful union that's meant to lead to, we do have 2 marriage cards here. So if even this idea makes you sort of like say, ew, no, I don't want that, and you don't have to necessarily want marriage or anything like that, right? But the idea of a union, again, you're watching this reading, right? So the idea of a partnership is still something that deep down you want, right? So why are there these sort of blockages automatically when it comes to certain labels or certain ideas of what this experience of a partnership is meant to have? And I think it's something to do potentially with like ancestry, or with past lives, but also just with current family patterns and lives, where maybe you associate these sort of structures and experiences with an energy of blockage and of constraint. At least for you, that's on your side, right? So, okay, so we get, how beautiful is this? We get sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. And this is a beautiful gift and something that you're not meant to walk away from and run away from, right? We do have the 8 of Cups here and the 2 of Pentacles for you. So there's a sort of energy where you both might want to not take this on and not and sort of like run from it. But there is this deeper reason for that, which is that for both of you, there needs to be a sort of reinvention and transformation of what the idea of freedom really means to you. Yeah. So kind of meditate on that, maybe journal a little bit on that. I think that journaling and meditation would be very good for someone who has what I sense so much like crown chakra energy. I sense like you both have very strong like crown chakra as well as throat chakra energy. So clearing those because the crown is about higher understanding and spiritual beliefs, and the throat is about how you speak them into existence and what belief systems you form with those ideas. Okay, so for experience, regardless of whether you perceive it as good or bad, comes with a gift attached, yet sometimes the gift is only revealed with the passing of time. Trust all as that should be. What a perfect message. Then I say that this is a gift of a partnership that you're not meant to ignore or not accept. And there's something about it that makes you feel like sort of uneasy, because it comes about in this sort of like mysterious way where it feels like almost set up by the universe, but you're meant to trust that, not question it, because that is going to bring so much blessing. It is truly like a high union. And look at this, your soulmate's love surround you this very moment. Stop and feel it. Unconditional love glowing through the eternal flame of oneness, a spiritual union of two souls radiating light for the entire world to feel. Wow, so this is truly like Spirit really wants to bring you together. And also with this angel, with this person who's blindfolded, they sort of have like sketched angel wings behind them. So it's almost like, yeah, there's a sort of blockage to this angelic as well as spiritual guidance behind this union. That's what's being blocked right now, is either the recognition of it or the recognition of what your deep down desire really means, as well as what your blockage and your limiting belief systems and mantras really mean and where they really stem from. Yeah, so that's kind of what I see for you in this reading. So I hope you enjoy that it resonated. Let me know what your stories are. I would love to hear it, especially, you know, if anything comes true here, that would be great. There's also this video that I mentioned that's all about the difference between karmic partners, soulmates, and twin flames. If you want to take a look at that, it's linked below, as well as my video on what's manifesting for you in love. This is a highly potent time astrologically for soulmate unions and reunions, so that's why I'm putting out these love readings now. There's also going to be another one about blockages and shadow work, so that might be interesting for you when it comes to love. So that's what I have for you. I hope you have a lovely day or night whenever you're watching. Thank you so much. Bye. So hello everyone who picked pile number 5, as well as what I think is this opalite stone. So this reading is going to be all about your sacred soulmate and higher divine counterpart, as well as your union or reunion with them. So I assume that probably most of you watching are singles at the moment, but of course you may also watch this reading with hopes of confirming a current relationship or situation. If you're looking for more information on the idea of soulmates, and if you want to learn more about the differences between karmic partners, as they are so called, soulmates, and twin flames, I also have a video for that linked down below if you're interested. I also put out there a reading on what's manifesting in love for you. So this reading specifically is going to be about the counterpart that Spirit really wants me to bring to you at the moment. So if you're wondering about like which soulmate this is, or sort of what kind of relationship this is, the answer is the one that really wants to come through for you at this moment, and that is very significant for you. So this is not about something that is meant to come into your life just as quickly as it leaves. This is about a significant, beautiful, positive relationship, something that would not be considered karmically heavy or difficult. So this is a beautiful connection that wants to come into your life. And let's get started right away. So this is going to be a multi-step reading. The first part is going to be about just who this person is, their personality, their life purpose and passion, and also about how you're going to meet. The next part will be like, what is your purpose together as you come together, and what is the story of your relationship? And then we will also pull some more cards about how they're feeling for you when they meet, and vice versa. And in the end, we'll get some final advice on the relationship and manifesting it into your life. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first 3 cards are going to be about who this person is. And I also pulled some cards, and I want to flip them over right away about how you're going to meet, because sometimes these things sort of blend together. The story of who they are and how you're going to meet, I found that it sort of blends together. So here right away, what I'm sensing is that this person, much like the one in pile 1, is someone who is potentially very artistic, very poetic. They're also a little bit withdrawn. They have very lively and interesting and intricate inner worlds, and they're definitely introverted. At the very least, when you're first going to meet them, they're going to be sort of keeping to themselves, and they're going to be in a mode of contemplation, as well as just more withdrawn maybe at that point in their life specifically. And it's so interesting how in a lot of these piles, I think at least half of them, there was a card with a man and another one with a woman that sort of signified, and of course this is all going to be genderless, but that to me just signifies the sort of union of masculine and feminine entities, or of yin and yang, or of counterparts literally being drawn to each other as magnets. And it's interesting, this one is sort of the energy here is that this person sort of looking into a book and not noticing their surroundings, right? And then this card here, which is signified by the Empress as well as the Queen of Pentacles in this beautiful Jane Austen tarot deck that I have, the cards are mixed together between the minor and major arcana. So you have a sort of double situation here. So this is the Four of Cups, this is the Queen of Pentacles / the Empress. Anyway, so this person here is sort of not focusing on that, or if they're interested in and trying to manifest a partner, a life partner, or a romantic partner in general, they're not so directly focused on that, but not because they don't want to, because what I'm sensing is that there's a deep idealism within this person, whether in a poetic, literary, artistic fashion, or just in general, emotionally and spiritually, when it comes to meeting and uniting with this divine counterpart who is you, right? But both people are sort of kind of daydreaming about this and thinking about it, but not necessarily taking very much action. I also sense that perhaps this person is the one who is in a more surrendered state, as opposed to you, who might be the one who is meant to be the sort of the instigator, or the one to take more action on this journey. This person is sort of like the yin energy. That's what I sense with this combination of energies. They are very much represented by the energy of Venus, which rules the Empress card in tarot. And they're very focused on beauty as well as art around them, and they just are very interested in the aesthetic element of life, basically. I definitely sense water sign energy, a lot of Pisces, as well as potentially Taurus and Libra. Those are the signs of the Empress card. And with this Two of Wands here, they are not necessarily taking conscious action towards aligning with a soulmate or counterpart, but their spirit guides as well as their soul is already planning this situation out for them. They're basically planning and engineering your encounter together. So the Two of Wands is a card of planning and action, or rather planning before taking the action. So this person may be in a state of acquiring certain skills or learning something about their passion or their purpose, their path in life in regards to career and profession. They might be quite literally learning a lot with this book here. They might be just literally with their nose in a book all the time. And because of that, not just because of this deeper soul level of they're in a more surrendered state / pretty in their mind in a fantasy oriented sort of way when it comes to partnership, but they're literally just always in a book because they're learning. They're so busy acquiring this knowledge. I don't get a sense that they're very extroverted or sort of like violent in the way that they go about this acquisition of knowledge or of higher learning or anything like that. This is not very like Sagittarius energy. The previous pile was all about someone who is sort of a go-getter and who is incredibly curious about the world, and they take lots of action to fulfill that desire. But this is a person who kind of contemplates everything about life and their experience in a more surrendered as well as just sort of go with the flow way. They're very contemplative. They like to reflect a lot. This is someone probably who has a lot of like 12 house placements or a lot of water house placements. They need to reflect on what is happening in their life in order to really make sense of it. They don't really just take action and are satisfied with that. They need to reflect. They need to retract from the world a lot of the time in order to know and understand how they feel and sort of what they want. So yeah, and what I get, this is a card about what's their passion or their purpose or their career in life, and it says second house, but in this specific deck it says patiently. And I think that that word there is a key word. This person is not someone who wants to run after things. They like to see things develop in a beautiful, slow, authentic sort of way. This is someone who would take the process of getting to know you at a very slow speed in a beautiful and positive sort of way. They want to really enjoy everything about life. They're very in the present in that sense. Very Venusian in that sense, where they're sort of at peace in the present moment, and they're sort of at one with their environment, that they want to be comfortable in it. Someone who has a very sort of stable Venus placement, which I'm getting the sense that this person has, like a fixed Venus sign maybe. They don't want to rush. They don't want to ever be in a situation or in an energy that's scattered or all over the place. That's not something that makes them feel safe or happy. So they would definitely take this relationship and meeting you very slowly, one step at a time, and it would be a very gradual, sort of beautiful, like blossoming development between the two of you. And because they're not really ever focused on things unless they know for sure that that is what they want. Everything, they go about life, everything in life in this specific way. They want things to grow in this beautiful organic way that's authentic to their soul and to their feelings and their desires and their heart. So what else does it say? Yeah, they have sort of unique beliefs, but at the same time there's a sort of element to them that might be identified by people who are sort of like onlookers and who are evaluating them externally as more traditional, but they are not necessarily traditional in the sense where they're sort of conservative culturally. I'm not getting that sense, but because they have these very sort of strong and idealistic principles when it comes to relationships, when it comes to what beauty means, what enjoyment in life means, what worth means to them, they might be perceived as someone who is like not very adventurous or very conservative, but they're not. It's just that their soul is sort of already at peace in a lot of ways, and they don't need to frantically try out many different things in order to understand themselves or to fulfill what makes them happy, or to find something that they're really interested in. Like sort of that idea of you don't have to try on every single wedding dress in order to know which one you like. They're like that when it comes to partnerships as well. I don't feel like this person has had many partnerships. Like they could be very, very much single for a long time before they meet you, because they are pretty idealistic and they don't want to waste their energy because they know that their energy is precious. So in that same way, they're looking for someone of the same kind who is capable of meeting them in that space that's already sort of at peace and surrendered, and where they're not sort of running around frantically in order to try to sort of capture everything about life because they're desperate that they're going to miss out on something. Like that energy really is sort of unattractive to them. So yeah, they're in a sort of stable place in the sense that they accept the present moment and whatever is happening in their life, even if it's something that sort of challenges them, or that, yeah, this is a very patient person. They're willing to wait for the long term, the highest situation, highest relationship, highest job, career. This is definitely someone who could be an artist, but I'm definitely getting a lot of the Taurus and Scorpio axis as well here, because the second house is represented by Taurus right now, and the South Node card came up. So this makes me think of that opposition. And right now, the North Node is in Taurus, meaning that the South is in Scorpio. So this brings up a lot of ideas exactly related to worth. In fact, right now, if you're watching this in February 2022, this nodal shift that has just taken place about a month ago is all about redefining worth in and out of relationships, in and out of career, as well as enjoyment in life, and about sort of, it's the axis of control. So Scorpio likes to have control over emotions, Taurus likes to have control over materials. So this is sort of about the synthesis of that. So you might also have prominent placements in Scorpio or Taurus, specifically in relation to your South Node, because this is the card for how you will meet. And the South Node is all about what you are meant to release in this lifetime, or to walk away from, not completely, but in order to embrace the opposite energy of the North Node so that you grow more according to your soul's purpose. So this says destined to release, which makes me think that when you're going to meet this person, you're going to be stepping out of your comfort zone in a way that relates to your purpose, that brings you closer to your purpose. And this will have something to do with redefining your core values and belief system. Maybe in a similar way to this person, in a way that makes you understand how you fit into the world, in a way that makes you feel authentic and not second guess yourself and your uniqueness, and the fact that, you know, maybe you're also the type of person, I mean, I get the sense that that's what it would be, because this is the kind of person that your counterpart would be looking for, who is not sort of frantically running around and gathering experiences, good and bad, worthy, unworthy, just for the sake of gathering them. So maybe this union has something to do with your acceptance of who you truly are in that sense, and stepping out of the comfort zone maybe means just embracing that true authenticity and who you really are in that sense at a deeper level. It also just speaks in general about some sort of change, some shift in the way that you materially relate to your purpose, because the second house is here, right? So maybe this means that you're finishing a sort of degree for some reason, I want to say that, or you're changing jobs. I don't sense that as much though, although the second house could have a lot to do with that, or maybe you're changing residences. The second house is also about what you own, so maybe there's a big change in just your ownership of something around that time that is significant to you, but at a more metaphorical and spiritual level, some sort of transformation that's taking place when it comes to your self-ownership over your belief system, and the way that that relates to your current idea of what you should be doing and what it means for you to be pursuing your true soul path in your life. So what was I going to do next? I was going to pull some cards for how you're going to feel when you meet this person, how they're going to feel when they meet you. Then we're going to do your purpose together at the spiritual as well as earthly levels, and some light and shadow aspects to them. And we'll keep on continuing on in this reading that's really detailed. So let's see, how are you going to feel when you meet this person? And if timing comes up, I will talk about it. If not, I didn't really talk about it in the previous piles. Nothing's really coming up at the moment that's very specific, but it might have something to do with the time when you have important transits either in your second house, or when your South Node is doing something important, like either when you have a nodal return or a nodal opposition. So right now, people with North Node in Taurus would have a nodal return, and people with North Node in Scorpio would have a nodal opposition. So these times might be significant, and they usually last around 1.5 years. So I do sense that for a lot of you, this encounter might be happening within the next 1.5 years from the moment you're watching, regardless of whether you have that nodal return or not. So let's see, how are you going to feel when you meet this person? Interesting. The cards don't really want to come up. So there's a lot of sort of suppression of energy, I think, for both you and this person. There's some hidden factor involved. Okay, so we get 2 cards. All right, Queen of Inspiration, or Queen of Fire, or Wands. Wow, a Queen of Materials, or of Pentacles. And that's the second time we get the Queen of Pentacles. Let's get one more card for how you're going to be feeling when you meet them. And the 9 of Inspiration, or 9 of Wands. And we also have the 4 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, which to me also, I always view the 4 of Swords as related to the 4 of Cups in some way, because both are cards of sort of containment, stability, as well as a sort of suspension of energy, or of a period of, just concealment or healing. You might be a little bit burnt out or tired when you meet them. Every time I do see the 9 of Wands, you might be at a sort of turning point in your life, not a very significant one, like not a tower moment in the sense that things are violently changing around you, but in the sense that you've done so much work on the path of your purpose, and specifically when it comes to understanding yourself and to accepting who you truly are at the soul level, at the spiritual level. Whenever you get wands cards, it's all about spirit energy. So we get 2 wands cards, and then we also get a pentacles card, which speaks about materializing something in the real world. So this will be after a time of sort of like significant spiritual self-reflection and self-evaluation, maybe after a period of sort of shadow work, or of thinking about yourself at a deeper level where you've understood a lot more and you're in the state that's both you feel like very accomplished by what you've done, and because there's so much that you've accomplished and just simply acquired through this process of self-reflection, but at the same time you're feeling a little bit burnt out, like you might want to just be taking a break from it. Like if you've gone to therapy, for a really long time, and you've really stuck to your schedule and to your goal when it comes to working on those maybe shadow aspects, or just simply on understanding yourself at a deeper level and figuring out what you truly want in your life, then you're going to be in this state that's like kind of focused on recovery, or of just you're going to be oriented towards having more fun, or you're just going to simply be wanting a break at this time. This is also about self-defense, not in that very extroverted 7 of Wands sort of way, but in just cautiously optimistic sort of way. With 2 queens coming up, this is all about feminine energy and you protecting the significant and pure and precious feminine energy within you, because of a similar reason to this person and why they're sort of self-contained in their own energy, because you don't want to waste that on anyone who is not going to fully recognize your worth. Because in this deck, the Queen of Pentacles is also the Empress. You're going to have truly realized your worth by the time you meet this person. And on one side, you're going to realize just how much you didn't sort of align to it in the past. And you're going to be sort of going over those experiences and those potential wounds, as well as difficulties in the past relating to that. But at the same time, you're so much more aligned with your true boundaries, and you're not willing to sacrifice anything unnecessarily for anyone, and not from a place of, that sort of like violent, in your face self-defense, but in a truly authentic way. So keywords for this reading so far: authenticity. Both of you are very keen on embracing that, and you're both in a journey right now, on a journey of getting closer to that true soul's authenticity. Lots of Taurus as well with this, and earth energy, so we get almost a lot of earth as well as water and some fire energy. But I think with this Queen of Wands here, this is all about you embracing your true power, basically. So you're going to be doing that at the spiritual and intellectual level, conceptually about yourself. You're going to have this more elevated vision and understanding of yourself, your true worth, as well as your boundaries, and what you're not willing to compromise on in life, whether in relationships or in general when it comes to your career, your purpose, your passion. And at the same time, emotionally, just in general, you're going to be plugged into that authenticity at a deeper level. So let's see how they're going to be feeling about you at this time. So you're going to see them as very beautiful. You're going to be wondering if they are worth, opening up to with this 9 of Wands. And yeah, you're going to have accomplished so much. Like, I mostly talked about you and how you're feeling about yourself, but I think that that is a key thing in this reading and in your meeting. You're going to be in this place of self-sufficiency and power, not in a way that's closed off, but that's healthily boundaried. And you're going to be sort of waiting for them to take some concrete action, because the Four of Swords at the bottom there, as well as the Queen of Pentacles, usually is she's also very patient, and she doesn't like quick movement either. And the Queen of Wands in this deck specifically, she's sort of looking inward, right? Usually you see her on a throne holding a sunflower and there's a cat next to her, but this person here, she's looking within for her soul's guidance. So you're going to be wondering, you're going to be tapping into your intuition and wanting some sort of guidance from your spiritual team as to whether this person is that person and whether you're meant to open up to them when you meet them. You're definitely going to be waiting to see some sort of sign that proves their worth to you. I literally can't shuffle this deck right now. What's happening? Okay. All right. Let's see how they're going to be feeling towards you. Okay, so we get the King of Wands. Beautiful. First card out for you was Queen of Wands, and for them is King of Wands. Wow. Okay. So you're both going to be intuitively drawn to each other and understand at the soul level that you are meant to be together, that you are divine counterparts, that this is a significant relationship. We also have the Hermit. Interesting. And we also have the Nine of Swords. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Wands. Okay, so I did mention the Seven of Wands before and how that's the more sort of, as you can see in this card, the sort of more emphatic version of the Nine of Wands. So this person is going to be, like, they're going to be working hard when they're going to be in this state in their life where they're working hard on something. And because they're so focused on that, they're not really, just like here in this picture, they're not focused on coming into this union with any sort of soulmate. They might be in a state of worry about something, some sort of project, something that they're trying to manifest, and they're sort of going to be taken aback by you, and they're going to have to go. Remember how I was talking about how this person needs to retreat in order to reflect on what's happening in their life? They're going to be retreating sort of within themselves right after they meet you, because first, they're going to be sort of shocked that this happened because they were not focusing on that at all in their life. And they're going to have to really go into solitude in order to understand what happened and to register your connection as well as the significance of your meeting. And like basically what I'm feeling is that immediately they're going to know who you are. And immediately also, like right after that, they're going to be like, okay, well, now I'm going to have to reflect for like 21 business days on this. Not specifically that long, but they're going to have to kind of almost immediately go away completely in order to reflect. And this doesn't have to be like a really significantly long period of time. This could be anywhere from a few days to like a couple of weeks. I don't get the sense that it's going to be a longer period than that. They might also just be a sort of like you meet very briefly, and there's this sort of moment where you recognize the fact that you're part of two parts of the same whole, and you're both going to be then asked by spirit and triggered by your own soul to go within and to understand. I was talking about how this Queen of Wands is looking within, and then this Hermit card talks about that, exactly that for this person as well. But after you've both done this sort of reflection and you've understood and registered things at the higher level, and maybe you've received some sort of signs, some guidance, like this person here is also, I think, she's sort of coming in as a guide, like as a sort of ghost, as a spirit guide, and bringing some sort of message. These people are worried about what that message might be, right? But this is all about communicating with some sort of higher energy in order to get some confirmation, basically. And as soon as you both complete that inward process of, like detaching from any potential immediate self-defense mechanism, there's going to be this energy of bursting forth towards each other. And I get the sense that this person will be taking that action towards you. So you sort of more immediately recognize this person's worth and their connection with you. But then you're like, okay, I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm going to wait. And then you're like, okay, well, I hope that, this person is worthy of what I'm already feeling. This person's going to be like, split second, this is my person subconsciously. Then they're going to be like, oh no, I wasn't expecting this. I was so worried about so many other things in my life. Then they're going to be retreating within. And then they're going to have a sort of awakening and understanding deep within, and then sort of burst forth towards you and take that action that you are going to be waiting for. Okay, so I'm going to pull some cards actually before I do that, I'm going to talk about the purpose cards. So I have one overall card here for your spiritual purpose together, which is Pluto. Oh my gosh, regeneration. So we have black tourmaline. Okay, so this is all about a deep transformation of yourself, and you're meant to be coming into this relationship and this connection with this person in order to help yourself along in this process of transforming at a very significant level. This also makes me think of Scorpio energy because it rules Pluto rules Scorpio in non-traditional astrology. This is all about regeneration indeed at the spiritual as well as material level. Black tourmaline is, I have a big chunk of it that I'm staring at right now, is all about disintegrating negative as well as self-limiting energies. So for both of you, this relationship is going to, once again, with this idea of worth and the Taurus Scorpio axis of worth, materially as well as emotionally, spiritually, and when it comes to things that you can see more easily. This relationship is going to ask you to come into deeper alignment with what true worth means to you when it comes to recognizing it within yourself, making it happen and manifesting it in the real world, as well as welcoming it into your life through relationships. So these two cards talk about the light as well as shadow aspects of this purpose and this path together. So for the light aspect, we have affection. So this is what's going to be very beautiful and expansive, and that's going to give you so much joy in this relationship. And this is all about the shadow aspect and the potential triggering parts of this relationship. So with affection and rose coming in, I think that's pretty obvious and self-explanatory. This person is insanely empathic, and they are just very kind-hearted, and they're going to be providing so much support and loving care for you in a way that maybe you hadn't experienced before, because I sense that there's so much self-sufficiency going on your side of the story as well. Maybe you were pretty much single for a very long time before, or you were just so focused on this process of spiritual growth and of discovering what truly is your purpose, so that you never really experienced this sort of like romance or just in general lightheartedness with roses. That's the obvious connection there, is just in general enjoying life in that Venusian way and being open to and surrender to that state of romance and magic and just tenderness in general. So this is what this person's going to be providing for you. You're both going to feel this way, like a sort of sigh of relief throughout your relationship. And when you meet each other, as in you realize that you can be open in that way that you never felt like you could be, or that you question whether you could ever be. And I did talk about how this person likes to, they don't like to move very quickly, right? So they like a relationship to open up, sort of like this blooming flower or rose. They like for things to progress in that organic, beautiful way. And this is what's going to be happening. And it's going to be this very gorgeous process of getting to know each other's personalities, souls, layer by layer. So the triggering, more shadow aspects of this relationship are going to be signified by this energy here, the alchemist. So this is all about your belief in your power and your possibility to manifest. So there's something here about questioning yourself and your power and your equality when it comes to this person. So while on one side we get this idea that you're being very careful to make sure that this person is worthy of your energy and of your heart, but when you get to know them a lot more, you're going to sense that there's a lot that is just so amazing about them, and that might sort of trigger your own ideas about your self-sufficiency and your accomplishments. Or it could be the other way around. Usually with divine counterparts, there's a mirroring situation and a sort of reflection of triggers back and forth. So this person might feel that their power is sort of challenged by you and what you've accomplished in this world so far, whether in more concrete or spiritual ways, or both, usually. And there's this sort of, I don't know why I want to say this fear of the energy of manipulation for both of you, whether that stems from something subconscious or maybe even a past life sort of fear, or just from experiences that you've had with people who have manipulated you. I think of this as sort of like the magician energy, and the downsides of the magician card are being manipulative, being a sort of Seven of Swords, in the sense that you're sort of stealing and manipulating energy behind the scenes without telling that person that that's what you're doing. So there's a fear of sort of manipulation for both of you, and this relationship might at certain points trigger that, but not because any of that is happening, but because it's pushing those buttons that are meant to be pushed so that you learn certain lessons at the soul level. Okay, so let's see what your story together is. I'm going to be pulling some transparent tarot, so I'm going to put this cloth here so that you see the cards better. These are going to be overlapping with each other and forming a little story. So let's see what your story together is. I'm going to pull, I think, 5 cards. Ooh, okay, good. So I barely can see it, and of course fell on the ground. I'm like, where is it? So we get the 4 of Swords again. Okay, so I think for both of you, one of the lessons that you're going to be sort of already in the process of learning before you align is something to do with taking action towards your goals and your purpose, and not just waiting around for things to happen. Yeah, we also get the 2 of Swords, which is an energy of suspension, of blockage, as well as of not knowing something, not being able to understand what it is either that you want, what your true soul purpose is at a deeper level, or not wanting to take action because you're waiting for something else to happen, for some sort of sign to show up. And the way that this looks sort of forms a kind of, yeah, like if you just look at this, it sort of forms a 5 of Swords dynamic, which speaks about exactly that stuff that I was talking about. Betrayal, manipulation. That card is all about having felt that at some point and then feeling unsafe in taking action or in opening up to someone because of that past experience. So you're carrying a lot of these different little experiences that have added up to quite a lot of a burden when it comes to your ability and your conception of what it is to be open. But this relationship wants to bring exactly that experience in your life of this beautiful Queen of Cups openness, spiritual openness, and intuitive understanding. Ooh, okay, we get one more card. Oh, how sweet. This is so beautiful. And we also have the 2 of Cups, which is the ultimate romantic counterpart card. So what I sense with these energies sort of overlapped here is that you're both coming from this place of stillness, and there's a sort of rebirth happening through certain experiences that you've had in your life that have made you question yourself, your worth, your purpose, as well as your optimism when it comes to relationships and when it comes to just in general your ability to feel fulfilled in life. There's going to be this rebirth that happens as a sort of, you're going to be registering it as a sort of gift from the universe. Like when it comes in, like there's going to be this overflow, this outpouring of love, of optimism, of just some such beautiful spiritual healing energy that is going to make you realize that this is all possible for you. And this is all so accessible through this partnership here. It's such a clear sort of message. So I view this person here, this Queen of Cups, as a sort of like angel figure or just spirit guide figure but also as your higher self. So your higher self has always been guiding you towards this. And if you've ever felt like you had to learn so many lessons that were sort of unfair to you because, you know, you maybe saw others and the way that they were living and they didn't have to go through so many things, or so many blockages basically, or there's such an energy of sort of stillness at the beginning, right? With that four of swords and then the two of swords, an energy of just suspension, blockage, like a very square sort of concealed energy. We got that from the card of who this person is. We also got that from you, and we got that from your encounter, from when you're going to meet each other. So basically, this relationship, starting from the very first moment, is going to be sort of rupturing those walls that you felt have always been there for you, that have made you feel like this is something that's not accessible to you, or that, like, one of the things I see is like, how am I supposed to take action towards this? Like, when this person either is here or they're not here, like, what action am I supposed to take? Like, you're both in that energy before you meet each other. And then as soon as you do, you realize via this channel of your higher selves that you are these divine counterparts to each other. And you're going to feel so blessed basically by that. And all of these past experiences here, like, this is the only card that's red and it stands up from all the blue of the others. All of these past experiences of feeling like you had to carry so many, or you just had to be so suppressed by your life experience. Like, either you've always been working and never enjoying that beautiful blooming. Where's the card of the romance card? Such sweetness and like a feeling of support. You have never really felt that, maybe you felt. And like you were always the one working, you were always the one struggling, right? But this is going to make that experience and that sort of story that maybe you still tell yourself about yourself be a thing completely of the past. So that's so beautiful. That's amazing. So let's see now the card that signifies what you have to release as a sort of blockage that's currently there, that is keeping you from coming into union in this relationship, or that is going to speed up the process towards this union, better put. So you have the card, you have support. So that's so beautiful. Okay, so with the little angel wings here in this mask, as well as I was just talking about the Queen of Cups here representing your higher self, this is all about realizing that you might not know exactly what's happening and what this path towards this relationship and union is going to look like, but simply keeping faith that there is some sort of divine higher plan that is beautiful and affectionate, empathic one, is actually still there, and it's running sort of behind the scenes, and you totally don't understand what's happening. You have no way of knowing what's going on, but believing and feeling and tapping into that support system of spirit guides, of angelic essence and energy around you is what's going to make you feel more at peace and to be able to enjoy the present moment. So if on one side your counterpart here is sort of surrendered in that very Venus sort of way, Venusian way, I feel like you might be called to be more of that before you meet them, to truly enjoy the simple things in your present, whether that is just living a life centered on art, or that is very just aesthetically pleasing, or that is all about simply enjoying things rather than focusing so much on hard work and accomplishments and worth in the classical, like, traditional sense of like, I must have a certain job or I must earn a certain amount of income in order to be successful and prestigious, like true worth in the sense of your fulfillment, your enjoyment of it. So the more you tap into that intuitive resource of understanding that you're connected to these higher spirit guides, including your own higher self, the more you're going to be able to do that and going to match the energy of this person who's already started doing that. They have similar blockages to you, but I sense that for them it's more like, what is it really? It's more like an anxious sort of nature, which this could be, of course, always reflective. It could go either way with divine counterparts. You could be the more anxious one and they could be the more relaxed one, and vice versa. For them, I'm not exactly sure what their main sort of blockage is, but it is something related to this. But I do sense that for them, like, they just simply don't, unless they don't feel like doing something, they're not going to do it for you, I sense that you might still say yes sometimes to things you don't want to say yes to. So saying no a lot of the times, learning how to do that better. One thing that might speed up this process towards reunion here. Whereas for them, maybe they're just a little bit too stubborn in the way that they deny certain things that they don't want. In that sense, I do get a lot of Taurus energy from them as well. So let's pull you one final card, soulmate oracle card, and then a couple of soulmate messages for your conclusion here. These cards are hard to shuffle. They're cute and heart-shaped, but man, it's hard to shuffle them. Okay, all right. Beautiful. So we get this artwork as well as the message. New beginning, a new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. So I think this is a message about not waiting to be happy and not waiting for even this partnership, which is going to be that ultimate sort of Two of Cups, beautiful divine counterpart, probably even your highest soulmate for this lifetime, your life partner, the way that it looks here. Not waiting even for that partnership or that experience in order to have this true joy for the present and to connect to that thing that truly fulfills you at a soul level. That is not just your profession, not just your sort of collection of goals for this lifetime, but your true soul purpose and passion. So let's get a couple of soulmate messages. Okay, we get 3. Whee! They all want to fall. Okay, so it says, I am forever grateful for your loving kindness and for the joy you bring to my life. You are a gift from the eternal heart of love, a blessing from a most benevolent universe. Oh my gosh, didn't I talk about how when this comes in, you're going to feel like that it's a gift from the universe? Like this partnership is this beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous, blossoming gift. So this is something that you're both going to be feeling. And oh, this is so nice. You are always in my heart, like an ocean, like a glowing ocean light, a shimmering star in heaven. Love is a golden memory drifting through space like autumn leaves, recollections of loving days and nights. Wow. Okay, this person definitely has a poetic side to them. And if not, they're very much into literature and art. And they're going to be feeling so inspired by you when they meet you. And this also signifies that you've definitely had at least a couple of past lifetimes together. And there's going to be such a beautiful process of recognition when you meet each other. That's why, you know, as soon as you come into meeting each other, you're going to recognize at the soul level that you are true divine counterparts. And here, a loving thought triggers a loving response. Your love is felt and appreciated, and an angel surrounds you. Oh my God, this is crazy. A sacred union is born, the union of twin souls within a threefold flame. Wow, okay. This is absolutely your divine counterpart, your highest soulmate. If you know you resonate with the idea of twin flames, this is that individual. And maybe you felt like forlorn, left behind by this person. Like, where is this person? Like, why do I feel so alone in this life? Like, why does no one truly understand me and get me? This person is going to make all of those thoughts go away. Like I was saying here, like all these struggles, all these past experiences of feeling so alone, so sort of shut off from the world are going to be gone when you meet them. And I talked about an angel, right? And guidance. This is what this is about. You are already supported by this person. You're already connected in the astral realms at a deep soul level. And one of the many tasks I think that you have on this journey before you even meet each other is to just work on registering that energy and understanding it and feeling it deeply within you, and maybe doing a lot of energy work. So I do feel called to mention, because this idea really came up for you, yeah, do watch my twin flame video, watch the intro to it that describes what that is about, what that process is. I'm going to also be putting out a video for twin flame union and reunion around this 222 portal, which is just a really heightened time astrologically for all things related to soulmate meetings, as well as, yeah, just reunions in general. So watch out for that. I will also have a new video out there that's going to be about what's blocking love right now. So just more sort of healing energy when it comes to clearing blockages and shadow energy surrounding love. And I already have a video up there for what's manifesting for you in love, so take a look at those. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your stories, your thoughts on this journey, and if any of this sort of starts happening, if you feel like you get a sense that this is happening, I would love to hear about it. Of course, if there's anything that resonates within your current relationship about this, I would also love to hear that. And as usual, I would truly appreciate your likes, subscribes, shares. So have a lovely day or night whenever you're watching. Thanks so much. Bye.